I played 100 Days of Terraria. As someone who very much enjoys games like Minecraft, I don't know how I got this far into my life without giving this game a go, but I'm finally jumping in with pretty much no background knowledge at all. The main thing I really knew about it is that it's described generally as a 2D Minecraft. Turns out, at least to me, it's so much more than that. Before this particular playthrough, I had a small amount of coaching from one of my mods, May. Thanks again, Coach May. But that was something like a year before I started this new adventure. I played all of it live on this very channel. I'll leave the VODs linked to the description if you want to experience the highs, the lows, and the mess ups together. I didn't mean to do that! What better place to find my feet in this game than Loot Goblin Land? It'll be a medium world, classic difficulty, and I randomised the evil for my world, but I'll tell you now that it turned out to be corruption. Apparently this is meant to be a good thing for a noob like me, so I guess let's just jump into our first day. I mean, I guess just let's go, right? So I'm spawning in, my first instinct is smack wood. I struggled through killing my first few slimes and chopping down some wood, then struggled through building my first little starter hut. Just a rectangle, obviously, but I gave it everything it needs for our guide to live in. I also made a wooden sword for an easier swing, and a set of wooden armour for some light protection, and that all took me so long that the sun started setting by the time I was ready to explore. I decided against venturing into the desert, and got to some digging for ores, finding quite a lot of iron pretty close to home. Come on, look at that! Oh my god, it's still going! I wanted to smelt it that night, but got lost in the crafting menus for a bit, didn't yet know I'd need stone for a furnace. I cowered in the house for a while, coming out to prod the monsters every now and again, before having a little bit of encouragement from the chat just to run and do some searching for an easy cave. Okay. Huh. Oh, I'm almost dead. No easy cave? Am I just gonna have to like go somewhere and dig? Oh, hang on, here we go. That thing looks disgusting. I'm scared. I'm so terrified. I didn't find one, so I just carried on digging that hole I started earlier, because I found some stone within reach here. I made my way out the morning of day 2 to make my first furnace and smelt my first bars. From those I can make an anvil, a chest, a better sword, and a better pickaxe. Now that I'd very slightly got my bearings, I wanted to brave the desert. Ah! That was rude. And finally found my way into a cave. I'm alive and I'm okay, and that's gonna hurt me. No! I wanted to kill it! I'll be removing those from a distance from now on. I grabbed a bit more ore, then made a run for it before I could die again. I want to leave my money in a chest so I don't have to worry about losing it. I mined in the cave closer to home for the night, resurfacing the next day to make a load of bars. I know I haven't really gone many places yet, but that was because I wanted to prioritise crafting some sort of watch to track our time here a little bit easier. It took me a good amount of time to find out I needed a regular table to craft it, not a workbench. Had to make room for this large piece of furniture though. Aha! Watch! I added a second floor to this ugly house for my crafting stuff, and began making a new set of armour. Surprised to find out just how many metal bars these take. Wow, these are really expensive. Okay, just the helmet for now. That's fine. I felt a bit more ready for some caving and loot hunting now though, and I think the ore hunt was going really well. I stayed down there into day 4, and I was even excited to find my first cluster of gems which I remembered I'd be able to turn into a grappling hook, which I made when I got home that evening. Haha! Oh, I got an achievement! That's exciting. Still didn't have enough iron to finish my set of armour yet though. Having already chopped most of the wood close by, I made sure to plant a few more acorn, but the night monsters were getting on my nerves, so I retreated to the safety of my hut to make some tungsten tools and spent the rest of the night and into the next day building an extension to the house. This extra space is going to be used to house future residents, because if you didn't know, NPCs can move into housing here who can sell you some useful items. You unlock more characters as you progress through the game. I used the menu to check my housing was okay, and I needed help from my chat here to let me know that the platforms aren't a suitable flooring, but there was at least a space for the merchant to move in, and swapping out a few blocks is easy enough anyway. Hello, how do you do? Can I see your shop please? I sold off a few extra items and bought myself a piggy bank as a portable item storage. Then checked out the demolitionist wares, our newest arrival. He's hiding behind the guide here, and he just sells a bunch of explosives really. I explored above ground some more late that night until I found another cave. In all honesty, this loot goblin was really on the hunt for a loot chest. It was a bit disappointing that I'd still not found one yet, but that disappointment could finally come to an end, with not one chest here, but 2, and I got my first bit of looted gear to equip for some movement speed. From this night, it's safe to say the treasure drought is over, so from now on, I'll just highlight any important stuff I find, because we do see quite a lot of these over time. I stayed in this cave for much of day 6. Well, that was the plan, until... our first boulder! Okay, anyway... I used the opportunity to add some more storage for my growing collection of items, and get my head around all these items I could now craft, including now completing my set of iron armor, and crafting an enchanted boomerang since I was having so much fun with the wooden one I found in a chest. With my inventory cleared, I returned to my death point to retrieve my drop cache, which went straight into the piggy bank for safekeeping. I left the cave to check out more overground biomes, and got to test out my new boomerang. Okay, this boomerang is kind of ridiculous, in like the best way. No, I don't. Okay, remove those from my hotbar. This was just the start of a running theme for this playthrough. You'll see. Luckily, I wasn't too far away from home, so it didn't take too long to get back there, but obviously I got sidetracked the second I found a chest. I got a step stool here. Really wish I could permanently equip one of those in real life. Hold up to reach higher. Oh my god, I love this. The next biome along with some corruption, and in the darkness of this thunderstorm, it wasn't long before I got overrun. Just keep swimming, even though we're not really swimming, but... okay, nope, nope, nope. You will not kill me, I will not die. No! Now that I had the funds, I thought this would be a great time to get myself a mining helmet for the extra light after that struggle, so now I don't have to run around holding a torch. It was yet another night of spelunking where I found my first abandoned building thing, and these usually have treasure and fun items to collect. I see loot. Give me all the loot. I still hadn't quite got the hang of spotting traps though, so my adventure was cut short. Hello? This might have actually been a good thing, because on this new day, I found the travelling merchant was visiting. He'd appear at home on random days, bringing a new variety of stock each time. There are some really useful items in here today, but I can't afford any of them, so I tried to sell off some spare stuff, but still couldn't buy either the magic robe or the lifeform analyzer that I wanted. That's a pretty good sign I need to get back out there to find more stuff and things. Okay, this like bat. Do I go down here? Should I go down here? I feel like I should. Apparently I've not been very deep either. Let's try that again. Down this hole, I found a load of demon altars. Not much I can do with these for now, but they will be important later. I also found this ominous looking orb. Okay, what is that? What does this do? I was specifically asking this question because I'm scared of it. It'll drop loot. Destroying 3 of them summons a boss. Well, maybe I can just do this one. You had me intrigued. However, I'm gonna have to use like loads of bombs to get in there, right? There's so many things I have to learn about in this. A few bombs later, I could make my way in there, with one more to blow the thing up and release the loot inside. My first gun, a musket. I didn't try it yet because I found another orb pretty much next to it. My bombs weren't quite doing what I wanted, which is when I was told about the wonderful craftable that is sticky bombs. It's pretty much just a bomb covered in slime, or gel. That gives me a lot more control over what I'm blowing up. Inside this next shadow orb was a ball of hurt. This wasn't as good of a weapon as my bat, so I won't be using it. That's 2 orbs destroyed, so I can't break any more now until I'm ready for a boss that it'll summon. I went back to the ore hunt for day 9, but I just kept finding a load of water here, so I used a recall potion to head home. I had a fair amount of ore to smelt with me anyway. It took a good chunk of the day to sort out my inventory, by which point I was feeling a house upgrade in the hopes of attracting more villagers to stay. For that, I was going to need quite a lot more wood, though for the walls and floor, I went for stone for a change. I only built this one room for now. I'll add more to this later. My ADHD can mean it's hard for me to stick to just one task at a time, so back out exploring I went, finding a snow biome on the dawn of day 10. I ducked into the nearest cave to hunt for ore and loot, which I didn't find all that much of down here. So I moved on to a new area where I find a new piece of gear, some climbing claws, which might sometimes save me from falling to my death. Not too far beyond that, I found a living tree. I tried to chop my way in with my axe. I feel like this is common sense, right? Hit wood with an axe? Nope. Because these count as more like building blocks rather than an actual tree, you'll need your pickaxe to get inside. This thing goes down quite far. I made my way down the trunk because these can have doors to rooms off the sides containing loot, but this tree was nothing but a disappointment. Where is the tree loot? I'm offended. I'm so offended. I climbed my way out to keep heading west where I found an oasis. I grabbed some palm wood here in case I want to use it, and just a bit further from there, over a huge hill, I found the dungeons. Like I was gonna say, it's good to... What's this? Who are you? Oh, old man, hello. You pathetic fool, you cannot hope to face my master as you are now. Close. I don't want to curse him. Feels mean. Am I asking to die by going in here? The answer was yes, so I really didn't go too far down. This is as far as my confidence goes for this place right now. The rest of my night I carried on above ground, intrigued to find out where the world ends here. This is marked by the ocean, which you'll find on the furthest east and west points of your world. Still feel like... Oh, who are you? I love this boomerang so much. I'm sorry to kill my own kind, but I need to not die. Who are you? Oh. Please don't drown. Quest. Normally I could care less to see fish bones floating in the water underground, but this one was swimming. You thought that only human skeletons still flailed about in loot goblin land? Get it for me so I can stick it in someone's bed. Fishing?
Brother,
I'm a kid, you need to give me a house. Are you dumb? Yes, I get to be alone with all my fish. Where's the ocean? My favorite place to go. Okay, so I need to build this house at some point. Cool. I have a feeling this is a bad idea. This is just dropping off into nothing, so let's go. Let's not drown. Oh, this is the end, because it's like stopped. So I've walked literally all the way to the end, right? Yeah. Wow, we have gone a long way. Oh my goodness. So now we have to basically do that for the other side and just see what's there, right? It was probably time I headed home anyway, considering my inventory was pretty much full. And I left my piggy bank here. I spent quite a while being overwhelmed by the crafting menus from all the new stuff I found. This happens quite a lot in the earlier days, so to do something productive, I wanted to get back to building where I found a new friend, the arms dealer. He appeared after finding my first gun the other day. He didn't have anything I was after right now though. After being shown these grey bricks, I swapped out my walls to those. They just look better to me, and they'll match the stairs and platforms I wanted to use. Not gonna lie, this is clearly just a bigger rectangle, but now we've got a bit more contrast and more space for more friends. Speaking of which, here's the zoologist. I'm happy with— Who are you? I had a quick look at her wares, nothing I need right now. Uncovering more of the map to the east this time took me into the night. I would have got further than all the corruption around here, but something about this giant vertical drop just screamed loot potential to me, so I descended carefully with the help of my grappling hook. I found another shadow orb for later, so I marked it excessively with torches to make it easier to identify on the map. I actually found quite a few of them down here, but not that much in terms of loot and ores, so I climbed my way back up at a different point, and descended back down into a jungle cave on day 13, really hoping that I find a life crystal soon. Oh no! I was not paying attention to my health! I did not find life, I found death. I didn't want to give up on exploring that cave, so it took me a while to get back to my death point, and then store my retrieved cash in a piggy bank for when I next inevitably die. That's a lot of right, stop looking at anything else and not die, basically. I'm gonna wait a minute. Oh my god, I'm gonna die anyway. Oh no, nope. Please, 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 please. Oh, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die again. Yep. Maybe the desert cave then. Or not. It was a good thing I was at home at this point anyway, because the travelling merchant was visiting on day 14. I didn't buy anything actually useful, but I did buy some panda ears which are so adorable. I'm obsessed. Do you know what though? I think the cute little cosmetic item gave me the confidence boost I needed to survive this day in that desert cave, so I managed to gather another decent amount of ores. Not the nighttime though. No! I grappling hooked myself into... Like I said, I went into this like knowing that I was going to die a lot, and before I do anything, this has to go somewhere. I can't just not display this goblin statue. I had enough tungsten to upgrade my chest armor. I made use of the boost right away because I wasn't wearing a complete set to take advantage of any set bonuses at the moment anyway, and then I sold off the old one for extra money. Between this and generally just exercising a bit more caution, I was able to survive in this desert cave a lot longer, and it was here that I rescued the golfer. I'll be honest, I don't think I ever bought anything from this guy. The loot and the ore hunt occupied another day and night, eventually coming across my first suspicious eye to spawn the Eye of Cthulhu boss. Safe to say I won't be using that for a while, but there was also my first pair of boots in here. Excited about the prospect of higher movement speeds, I slipped these on immediately. How do they know my size? Anyway, it got to a point that evening where I felt like I had enough loot to bring home, so I marked off where I got to in the cave for a future time. Plus, it was the end of a stream anyway, and I really had to force myself to get off the game. It was so difficult. I know I've died a lot, but by this point, Terraria had me in a chokehold, and only being able to play this a few hours a week, the struggle was real. I did end up making my way back down there at the start of the following stream, but my brain sometimes needs a warm-up to get into the please don't die mode. Okay, everything's fine. Well, that's unfortunate. To be fair, I'm not sure this one's completely my fault. I made it back over there to collect my gold, then got sidetracked with a different branch of the cave, but let's just say it takes a lot of brain power to interact with a stream chat whilst navigating all of the dangers in this game. I just grappled to a cactus! Can you tell my brain's working really well today? I'm pretty sure it was last stream I was saying how proud I was I haven't done too much of dying stupidly, like with traps and stuff, and wait, why did I say that? I do manage to get in some successful mining time later on, and I started periodically blocking off some of the ways down to give enemies less paths towards me. But my favourite way to kill things had become launching my boomerang into a crowd from the safety of the ceiling with my grappling hook. I chucked in the odd bomb every now and again as well. I finally found my first life crystal the morning of day 17. Oh my god, a life crystal, finally! I was wondering when we were going to find one of them. It's been so long. Yay. I don't know why I didn't use it straight away. I think I was distracted by this mushroom biome. I was right to be excited about this because, first of all, I got a better boomerang called the Shroomerang, and I found shoe spikes in a chest to go with my climbing gear, plus the mushroom outfit of course. I feel like the hat is not for me though, so the panda ears went back on, because I tend to prefer having my hair showing. In the short time it took for me to mine this bit of ore, the skeleton merchant appeared back at the building. I bought a spelunker glow stick to try. These highlight treasure. Sounds ideal for a loot goblin like myself, and having accumulated quite a lot of items recently, I used this opportunity to sell some off to make space and money, then went back on my way. Don't worry, I did eventually remember to use the life crystal. Carrying on through the caves into day 18, I found another life crystal that morning. Life crystal! Oh my god, let me out, 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 let me out. Platform, please? Oh my god, this is not how I die. This is so not how I die. This is not it. This is not it. Okay. I was so panicking. Oh my goodness. I wasted no time consuming this one. And here's a third one shortly after. I can safely use one more before I need to worry. Once you reach 200 health, the Eye of Cthulhu boss has a chance of spawning every night, and I'd rather not be taken by surprise. Speaking of surprises... Hello? Fairy, what do I do with you? Can I capture it? Do I have my net? What do I do? What do I do with it? I don't want to hurt it. It'll find loot. Ooh, and maybe it's because I'm already near loot. Oh, go down, straight down this way. Or is it just, has it just left? No, it's taking me down here, right? Ah! Oh my god, yes! Unfortunately, the contents of this chest wasn't all that exciting. Do better, Fairy. Do better. I did get a depth meter from a monster after that though. I'm so grateful that there are items like this one that work from your inventory and don't need to take up an equipment slot. There's a minecart. Took me an embarrassing amount of time to work out getting on this track. Yeah. Green Fairy! Where are you taking me? Where are you taking me? Where are you taking me? Okay, well I get... Oh, no, we're going down there. Okay. Right, let's... Oh! You're showing me another life crystal. Rude. Rude. That's now 5 life crystals, so I have everything I need before that first boss fight when I'm ready. What I'm definitely not ready for is this hive here. Okay, that's terrifying. I'm gonna not go in there. I don't know what's going on with these past couple of days, but that's a third fairy in 24 hours. Aha, right. I see a load of traps, so first of all, let's get rid of those. Explosives, a boulder, and arrow traps. I'm really glad I spotted these in time. I was rudely interrupted by this Tim guy though. Oh, what the? No, absolutely not. No thank you. I got an achievement for killing him, but I'm not quite sure what this meant. I did get his hat though. Is that a hat? I want the hat! Give me the hat! Yes. Yes. This is also when I discovered I could see what traps the chest would be attached to. I'm glad I found this by accident, or I'd never found this last boulder above it. I safely accessed the chest. Not that there was all that much in here, but I think just getting this open without dying was an accomplishment in itself. My inventory and piggy bank were pretty much full, so it was the perfect time to come home after a good few days underground. I completely ignored the slime rain while sorting out my items, but I did eventually tackle the crowd that accumulated once the rain had ended, using a yo-yo I found whilst mining. Day 20 I worked on expanding the stone building to add 2 more homes, then found the travelling merchant trapped in a hole. At least he was easy to find. Hi! If you're looking for junk, you've come to the wrong place. I bought the heart hairpin, which became my new favourite headpiece. Sorry, was a tat. Your time is up. That's so cute! The nurse had arrived. She took her place on the roof for the day. Thankfully, they do manage to make their way inside eventually. That only leaves 1 vacant spot, so the rest of this day was for adding an even bigger extension. Still just a bigger rectangle, but apparently I'm a leading landlord, so I guess my residents don't mind the lack of shape. This is when I found out having too many NPCs in a small area can impact the happiness. This is important because happier NPCs can give discounts and sell more important items too, so I removed the furniture from the middle rooms to give residents a little bit more space in the middle when living on the outer edges. This gave me access to a forest pylon. You can use these to travel between each biome as long as there are 2 villagers living close to it and the pylon is in its related biome. This is a forest pylon, and so far my only pylon. If I wanted to travel from here to the jungle, for example, I would do so from my forest pylon, but I'd also need a jungle pylon with 2 villagers living over there to give me an arrival point. You'll see more about this later. I'll be upfront, I don't get another pylon for an upsetting amount of time. I travelled out on day 21 to find a spot to build myself an arena for all the boss fights. We do have quite a lot of these coming up. I'm a good few biomes away because I was worried about doing these too close to my villagers. I don't know the first thing about building arenas besides using platforms, so I just slapped a load down with some campfires for some health regen, then returned home the next day to do more boss prep by seeing if I could craft any better gear. So now I have a full set of tungsten armour. That's quite the upgrade in defense. All that's left is to find 1 more life crystal, which I found that night with the skeleton merchant hanging out here. I bought a counterweight since I was enjoying the yo-yo, and the artisan loaf, which at 10 gold was some very expensive bread, but to permanently increase the crafting station range, it's more than worth it. I didn't forget the life crystal, but I'll wait until I'm fully ready for my first big fight to consume it. As I passed this big old tree, I got a hint that I should probably check it out to find loot at the bottom. I'll be having all of that. I was eventually satisfied with my fix of loot and drank my way home the following morning. I sorted out all my goodies and gathered some final supplies before consuming my life crystals on my way to the arena. I had some waiting around to do when I got there. The Eye of Cthulhu is a night boss, so I can't even spawn it until 7:30. I hope it might spawn naturally, but it didn't, so I had to use the suspicious eye to summon it. Should I just... I've done it. Okay, I've just... I didn't eat that. Oh no, wait. Ah, that is a large eye, okay. My boomstick was doing a lot of damage to that thing, and it hurts to watch this first fight really. Just standing still and letting this thing crash into me, but even then it barely did any damage to me. Oh, it's not even... There are underground monsters that have been hurting me way more than this. Okay, what was I scared of? What was I scared of? That was... I overthought that so hard. I popped back home with that boss loot, but I was most excited about the sheer amount of demonite ore it dropped. Not that I made anything with it yet. I wanted more of the stuff, so back out to the arena I went with 2 other suspicious eyes I had stored, and messed that boss up 2 more times in quick succession. As the dawn of day 24 approached, I got some troubling news. A goblin army is approaching? Excuse me? Well, it says approaching from the east. It doesn't mean approaching my base, does it? Does it mean approaching my current location? That's probably a silly question, but... Goblins versus goblins. Approaching the base? The goblin invasion occupied a lot of my morning. Not gonna lie, these guys hurt. Little did they know, I'm the relentlessly respawning new goblin, and then I discovered these ridiculous spiky balls and mowed the rest down without much issue. My first goblin army defeated. Feels a little bit wrong really. I collected myself and smelt a load more demonite bars from those boss fights, using them to craft a bow, but then I got distracted by the arrival of the Dryad, who can tell you how much of the world is currently covered in corruption. I ignored this for now, and checked out her shop, which sells a variety of planty related things. I bought 1 single planter box, and at the time I thought I needed to plant the same thing as the planter, but I couldn't find my blinkroot seeds, so I put gardening on the back burner for the foreseeable future. I noticed a golden squirrel just outside, so I caught it with my net. It seems important, so I'll keep it in a chest till I can figure out what I need it for. It was another night of being overwhelmed by all the crafting options. I made a shiny new yo-yo, as well as a magiluminescence to give me a wearable light source and better movement speed. Day 25 I was back in my happy place again, the caves. I was planning to be down here for quite some time.
Hello. Oh, you have so much health. Okay, let's not die to that. This is like the freaking warp totem in Skull Caverns. I'm just gonna breathe for a second.
I went straight back down there. I wasn't giving up on my cave adventures, and it was a good thing I didn't because I came across a goblin in need.
What's this guy? Are you hostile? Can I help you? Are you okay? Thank you for freeing me, human. I was tied up left here by the other goblins. You could say that we didn't get along very well. What's reforge? Ooh! Oh, so is that what I can do with like the stuff that just didn't come out good? Are you gonna move home or are you gonna hang out here forever? I guess if we've got a shop, maybe not. Oh, rocket boots. I want those. I could have also just bought a grappling hook. Tinker's Workshop allows combining of some accessories. Oh, that's fun. It's important. Should I just buy it now then? Oh, if he's gonna move in, then I'll wait because I need space for loot. Hi. I just completely forgot how to speak because that is the best thing I've ever seen.
Safe to say, I love those boots.
Yay! Give me more health, please.
I came across another minecart track, which led me to another mushroom biome. Some pretty good loot too.
Oh my goodness, look at all that loot. Get me out of here, E. More boots. This is amazing. Ooh, Band of Regeneration. Well, I need that.
And then the skeleton merchant materialized here. Seeing this footage again, knowing about a few more items, I really wish I could go back in time and make myself buy that magic lantern. This sucks to watch because I remember the chat yelling at me to go back and get it.
Magic lantern. Summons a magic lantern that exposes nearby treasure. Not right now. Not right now. Good to see you though. Is it worth for me to get? For 10 gold though? Wait, how much gold do I have? Oh wait, life thing. There's so many distractions. Oh no. Go away. It's rare? Okay. No! It's gone! I didn't know that they go away like each time. I've missed my chance now, haven't I? Not each time, but new days? Oh. Oh, it's 5 AM.
So yeah, not the best start to day 26. I moved on so I could carry on the loot hunt.
Fairy! Show me the way. Where are we going? Where are we going? Oh. Okay. Thank you for showing me the way to the empty chest. So helpful. I really appreciate it. Do I have any bombs? I'm glad that the only thing that really hurt me there was the falling blocks. Scrap that.
I ended up getting to the area just before hell here, as you can tell by all the lava. I don't know what happened here, but I got so flustered and took a dive into a pool that cooked me alive. Once again, it wasn't so bad that I was home anyway, because I could then welcome our very important goblin and buy the Tinker's Workshop, probably one of the most important crafting stations. I asked for some guidance from the chat on how to actually use it, then successfully combined two of my boots together which, to put it simply, merges their effects. So now I can run faster and still fly.
Yay! Whee! Oh my god, that's so satisfying. Okay, maybe let's not accidentally use it to fall to our death. That would be kind of hilarious though.
I then paid the goblin some more money and reforged my yo-yo to give it some better stats. Some of the options you can get are rubbish, but you just have to keep pouring in cash until you get something you like. Having picked up 3 magic conches, I wanted to try one out. This gives us a quick way to get to the ocean, and it'll alternate which side it sends you to. Day 27 and I was back on the hunt for life crystals, but obviously I'm gonna gather all the treasure I can along the way. I could use 4 more crystals to reach a max health that you can get from those, and the plan was to get that done before I take on any more bosses. I was scared, okay? Having reached a dead end, I wanted to carefully make my way through the hive. Keyword here, carefully. I noticed that there was a bee that looked trapped. We gotta save the bees, right? Not gonna lie, I was terrified, and the chat thought that maybe I should just break it and see what happens.
I'm too scared to break it.
I wasn't going to, but I did it by accident.
Okay, well, okay. I didn't actually mean to break that. Okay, where is you? Think on our feet. Hi, Queen Bee, how you doing? Oh, that's very thick and gooey.
I had no prep, no planning, nothing of the sort. I just spammed my handful of platforms wherever I could to give me more space to jump to, and mainly focused on trying to stay alive.
The fairy's just like here having a good time, and whilst I'm panicking,
I hadn't learned about pressing B to consume all of my food and buff potions all at once, so I somehow managed to stay calm enough to organise eating this ice cream for a bit of a boost.
I didn't mean to eat two. No, 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 no. We're not gonna die. We're not gonna die. Come on. We're so close. Okay, I will not be beaten by a tiny bee after I just survived all of that. I need to get my breath back. I did well for a first time, but I feel like I panicked my way through that. Can I come out now? Can I leave the hive? Still trying to get my breath back a little bit, not gonna lie.
I couldn't believe we just did that. Once my heart rate had returned to something resembling normal, I could resume my search for life crystals again and test out my brand new bee gun. This became a favourite weapon of mine for a good while. It sends out a load of attack bees for me. A fairy came to me whilst I was collecting some more loot, and this time, it heard my wishes and led me straight to the next life crystal. 3 more to go. I didn't find another till that night. Well, again, a fairy showed me. My next one came in relatively quick succession, but I didn't find my last until late the following morning. That's 20 hearts totaling 400 HP. Even though I was struggling for inventory space at this point, I persisted with another whole day underground and got so deep that I actually reached hell. Killing this demon here dropped a voodoo doll, another important item for later, so I definitely had to make room for it, even if it is a little terrifying. The enemies down here are quite a bit more annoying, and most of the floor was quite literally lava, so I tried my best to make my own floor to explore here. A slime rain began for day 30 though, so I called it on my underground adventure because I need to kill as many slimes as possible. The travelling merchant was taking shelter here as well, so I bought a mystic robe from him because I was considering leaning towards the magic weapons. I alternated between storing all of my loot and killing slimes with my bee gun. That was until the painter killed enough of them to spawn the king slime. I was working towards it, sure, but I wanted to be ready, and I was very much not.
Oh no. Okay, well, we're doing this now, I guess.
Hello there.
It's in my house! It's in my house! Go away. How dare you? You weren't invited.
I was even more flustered here than with the queen bee. You know, considering that this is my home. Almost dead, I thought I could hide in a building real quick to catch my breath, not realising he can teleport.
How dare you? How dare you?
He despawns when you die, so if I want to attempt this again, I need to kill another 150 slimes during a slime rain, or craft and use a slime crown. Hopefully next time I'll be a bit better mentally prepared. I killed as many slimes as I could towards the next goal, which I didn't hit today, so I did a bit of a sort through of my storage for the night. On day 31, I took a trip to one of the many demon altars to craft a slime crown. I now had a way to summon the king slime again on my own terms, but for this attempt, I was going to do it at my arena with a boost from some coffee. I also consumed loads of mana stars to boost my max mana so that I could spam that boss with a swarm of bees, and being able to move better at my arena meant I had a much easier time defeating it.
Wait, what are you? Hello? Pet? Are you a pet now? Oh my god!
That little slime will actually now move in at home. I collected the pile of loot it left, then returned to town to top up on ammo as well as wood, because that arena we have won't actually be our only arena. The Eater of Worlds is next on my list. This one needs to be fought in the corruption, and one way to spawn this thing is to break 3 shadow orbs. If you remember back to day 8, we already broke 2 of them, so I just had to hunt down a third and build an area nearby to fight it. I suppose I wouldn't really call this an arena. I basically just placed some platforms to give me an easy way up and some even ground to run across. It certainly wasn't pretty, but I just wanted it to be somewhat functional so I could give this boss a go. Of course not forgetting to pick up the loot from the orb first. This thing has many segments, each with its own health bar, and if one of those reaches 0, it will split into multiple worms. Lovely.
Literally what's happening? What is happening?
As chaotic as this was, I wasn't taking all that much damage, and my bees were really doing all the work for me. But by the dawn of the next day, my bees and I had melted the worm down to nothing.
You have to die there. Hey, we did it!
With my love for magic weapons, I wore that band of star power I got from the last orb for the extra max mana, and the most important drop from that boss were shadow scales, which can be combined with demonite bars to give me an upgrade in armor. I had more than enough stuff to make the whole set right away, and the set bonus is more movement speed and acceleration. Anything to help me get out of the way quicker is always welcome. I also found out I could merge that band of star power with the regeneration one to combine its effects. An absolute must for me, slowly building my gear up with loads of helpful buffs. My next order of business was building a mini arena by the dungeon. Remember that old man who said something about a curse? You might have guessed it, this begins another boss fight.
Hello. Curse. Maybe I wasn't quite ready yet. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Okay, right. Avoid. Get my head straight.
A being called Skeletron. I did think this was going to give me a few seconds like the others did, but I just went for it, trying to aim for his hands first, and eventually figured out zooming all the way out so I can see the attacks coming from further away. Plus, this is definitely one of the biggest we've fought so far. I pretty much just ran back and forth with my bee gun, and watched my bees eat away at that last little bit of health. That's another one off the list.
I keep really overthinking these, I swear. I'll be surprised though, like the fact that I was like dying by everything in the beginning. Please tell me I wasn't the only one first time playing this, overthinking literally everything constantly.
I'd now unlocked my way deeper into the dungeons. I don't think I knew this yet, but I was just trying to focus on smashing through all the bosses before the Wall of Flesh, because I understood we get access to way better items after that point, also known as Hardmode. Deerclops is next for me, and for that, I need some materials from the frozen biome, which I didn't really feel like spending much time in right now, so I continued on past it back to those dungeons, because you just know there's going to be some good treasure in there.
What we got? Golden key opens one locked chest. Yes.
I made my way down very carefully. These spiky walls are as lethal as they look, and there are, of course, plenty of enemies out to get you down here.
We're starting to find enemies. Hey! What is this? Oh, a shadow key. A shield. Grants immunity to knockback. Okay, that's fun so I don't get thrown off the edge of stuff.
Yeah, the loot is very much worth it. The Aquaceptor? Ridiculous. I was needing to be even more cautious coming deeper through here. It's just riddled with traps and enemies, and it looks like this mechanic could have fallen prey to them if I hadn't shown up to rescue her in time. Another townie for the town. Don't think I ended up buying anything from her though. It was lucky I found her when I did as well, because shortly after that, I got backed up into a very spiky corner.
That's fine, I can just put my loot away.
I asked the guide what I could make with the gear I found, and got some really helpful hints, but after freeing up the inventory space, I went right back in that night. I found some sort of mimic which I couldn't seem to attack, but using one of my gold keys on it transformed it into a slime which will now move into town. Kinda reminds me of the Monopoly dude. I moved swiftly on to hunt for more loot. The slime hook I got from the king slime was doing me so well in here with multiple arms to get me across safely, where the ground could cause me pain. That is assuming I have a place to grapple to though.
Okay. Woo! Ow, 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 ow!
Yeah, some floors crumble beneath you to reveal pokey pits of death. This was another one of those times where it was a good thing I got sent home because I found something.
These glowworms? Enchanted Nightcrawler, why do I feel like they'll be good for something? Because I haven't seen those yet.
These are pretty good fish bait. Not that I've fished yet, but I will. At some point. I got back to the dungeon yet again the morning of day 34. I am one stubborn loot goblin. There seem to be a lot more enemies this time though. Look at that crowd down there. On this day, I found a better yo-yo and came across my first biome chest which I don't have the key for. There should be a chest for each biome down here and the keys are a very rare drop, so I'll mark these to come back to later. I didn't actually know what these were for yet at this point, but the frustration of unopenable loot was real. I came across a bewitching table here. Again, didn't know what it was, but I wanted to bring it home. This thing is awesome if you use summon minions as part of your damage because it allows you to have 2 of them. And then came my next favourite weapon, the magic missile. These cast controllable missiles, but they also have homing anyway. To control it, you just click and drag, but I think you have to be kinda quick.
What?
This thing is also quite a bit more powerful than what I was using.
That's so satisfying. That is so... Why does this exist? In the best way possible, why does this exist?
By nighttime, I was satisfied I'd combed through the majority of this place, and since I was struggling to cram any more loot in, I finally went home. Voluntarily, I mean. It took the entire night to sort everything out into my chests. Then on day 35, I was given a hint to check out what I could craft with the hundreds of bones I'd racked up in those dungeons.
Void Vault. Ooh! Oh, I need that.
These are all materials I have access to as well. Not entirely sure why I didn't rush to make it. Probably because I was getting overwhelmed with my overflowing storage. Well, that and I couldn't find my water scepter anywhere. No idea whatever happened to that thing. The mechanic was still trapped in that dungeon, so I got to work adding a place for her to come and live. Might as well build another space for a future resident too. Gonna throw you a curveball here and not roof the middle section. Would you look at that? No longer just a rectangle. I did go back to cramming in more furniture though. Screw those overcrowding issues.
I want to see what they've got. Can you, like, not be here? Is there a way to get them to leave? Can you go away? Philip wants you as the official Loot Goblin Land Errand Monkey. Excuse me?
I now felt ready to venture into the ice caves to seek out what I need for the Deerclops boss when I found this guy face down in the mud. You can start some event type thing, which is a lot of scary fighting, so I was advised to leave this alone for now. I would absolutely not be ready for that, and therefore I forgot it existed from here on out. Down in the caves, I specifically needed to kill some furry foes for their fur, but I wasn't going to pass up any loot I could find. I didn't come across my first flinks till the next morning.
Is this what I need? Is this what I need? Do you... Yes, there's the fur. There's the fur.
As monsters go, they're reasonably rare, so it'll take a while to find all the ones I need.
Is that a person? I think that's a person. They're gonna be just outside the... Oh, no, you're not friendly, you're not friendly. I thought she needed help. Good grief. Oh. Deceiver falls. Okay, well, that was, I guess, a thing that was kind of supposed to happen. Oh, metal detector.
I wasn't satisfied with my fur haul until late that night, which is when I went home to cram more stuff into my chests. Now, here's where things start getting messed up with my recordings, so for some future days, you just gotta put up with my stupid face in the corner. Enjoy! It's day 37, and I couldn't stand my cramped storage anymore, so it was time to build a dedicated shed. Plus, I think those villagers will be happy once I get my stuff out of their home. It took me the entire day to configure the place how I wanted it, so that I had room for loads of chests and a good number of crafting stations. You can craft from chests when they're open, so I wanted to make sure they'd be in reach here. It doesn't look like much, but it's functional, for now. Thus began day 38, moving day, for my stored items this time. I was hoping renaming the chests might make my life a bit easier. I still wasn't done by the evening when I was rudely interrupted.
Why is it suddenly... Blood Moon? Oh, this is not the time. I'm busy.
The Blood Moon waits for no one, but to be fair, this is a great way to get some easy money, and there are some fun bits of loot that can drop. My magic missiles were making quick work of most of the enemies, and before I knew it, the sun was rising on day 39. I officially survived my first Blood Moon. I was told to check all the shops as there tends to be some extra items sold right after, but I feel like this benefit was lost on me because even though I'd browsed all the wares before, I only looked at them once or twice, and my memory isn't exactly reliable. I did, however, buy myself a horse.
So... You're adorable. Oh, ooh, okay. Oh, safe. Can only be accessed by you. I don't really need that.
I thought the save here was just a different look for the piggy bank. I was wrong.
Safe doesn't need a platform. I want it. Immediately. Yes, please. So this I can just smack down. Wait, because I can have both now. Right? If I have both, then I have double the loot space. I'm bringing both.
I don't know what was up with my energy today. I thought I would have been way more outwardly excited about this. I promise, internally I was absolutely over the moon with all this extra loot space. It took me pretty much all day to sort out the dungeon loot and the Blood Moon loot, then I headed back out to the Corruption Caves that night on the hunt for Shadow Orbs again. I even got an actual Shadow Orb item from one of them, though I pretty much forgot about this, not realising this is actually a pretty good item. You'll hear more about this later. I think I was looking for some more specific loot from these, but I got more than I bargained for.
Oh, something's down there. Oh man, I was hoping it wouldn't do that again, but fine. Fine. That's okay. Everything's fine. I forgot to bring any health potions, I'm suddenly realising.
To be fair, I beat this thing with pretty much no trouble at all, and I did actually need more Shadow Scales and Demonite Ore.
Ah, Demonite Ore. This was a good idea.
I have a feeling my friendly trolls might have told me I might find these things in the orbs. Technically, they're not wrong, and I'm all for this level of troll.
Anyway. I had a feeling when it got quiet when I asked a question, I was like, they all know something. You just like to watch me suffer. Well, thanks.
Before leaving the cave, I made the item I need to spawn the Deerclops, plus a second one, you know, just in case. Then I picked up some food and potions and headed over to the arena to give it a go.
Right, we're just gonna go for it. I'm not even gonna think about it. Do the slime rain first. You don't want king slime Can it spawn? If I've already killed it? Oh, okay, well, we're doing king slime as well. Go away. I'm busy. Well, we're doing this again now, I guess.
It didn't take too long to melt that slime, and now it's the Deerclops' turn. I didn't think about the fact that only a small part of my arena was in the snow biome where the Deerclops needs to stay.
Where are you? Oh yeah, because you're going to be down here, aren't you? What is that? No! Ow.
This sounds like my stomach when I'm hangry. My mistake with this fight was that the attacks are much worse if you're too far away. I think barely being on my screen qualifies here.
Right, just don't run into the hands and I'll be good. Easier said than done, not gonna lie. Okay, I was hoping to zoom out. I didn't think of that. It's actually really hard. Okay, I need to make more platforms and stuff.
I don't think I was expecting it to still be alive when I went back.
No, don't stand underneath it. Get those hands away from me. Right, when he's purple, I can't seem to damage him. Stay away from the hands. Is it because I'm too far away? I would really prefer if you didn't do that. I can't seem to... Okay, he keeps on freezing me, so it's like stopping my fly. Okay, we're fine. I guess if I'm too far away, it goes purple. But the way that I had the platforms placed badly, I feel like I'm not doing too bad.
Alternating between dealing damage close to the ground and then escaping for a minute seemed to be working, and somehow, I successfully defeat this thing.
That was rough. That was so rough. Easily the most difficult boss we've done so far. Good grief. Right, let me go home and then we'll have a look at what we got.
I didn't really gain anything I was interested in. I took the night to sort stuff out though, then on day 41, I made a new nightmare pickaxe to get some better ores and stuff. I also stocked up on bombs because today I wanted to make an easy way down to hell, also known as a hellevator. Now, looking back on this, there would be much easier ways to do this, but for the most part I made use of the bits of cave that were already here and just sent some ropes down it. This did mean that there were quite a few twists and turns along the way. I think the point of this for me was to prevent accidental fall damage, which would be inevitable if I were to somehow miss the rope. This is me we're talking about, but it did make for quite a lengthy process, especially since I was bound to get distracted by loot now and again. I finally reached my destination early on day 43. Yes, that's 2 entire days of digging my way down at a leisurely pace.
Oh, a building with loot. What's this? Hellforge. That sounds important. Oh.
I was given a hint that there's some valuable ore down here for the next progressive gear upgrade, but not gonna lie, I was struggling.
Still haven't seen anything resembling ore. Some on the screen to the right. Go away! This looks like hellstone. I'm trying to see. Look in the lava. Is it this stuff? Is that stuff? Okay, thank you. It looks so similar.
That's because it is the same.
This is gonna hurt me like a lot. Ah! This is hellstone. Wait, use ash to replace it instead. It was in like... I'm so confused. The weird fiery looking... Am I missing something here? So this stuff's everywhere then. Okay. Wait, so I'm so confused. I'm so confused. Because like the hellstone is some of what I was mining in here. So I thought it was like something else that I was looking for. I'm gonna get this safely. Obsidian skin potions. Do I have any?
Obsidian skin potions make you immune to most of the blocks that would burn you or set you on fire. Perfect for mining hellstone, or just being in hell in general. Didn't have any of those on me though. I thought I could just grab a few exposed pieces, but it literally turns into lava after, so that's a no-go.
So this is the ore, okay. Gotcha.
I was planning to go home to make the potions after looting this building, but there were already some here waiting for me. I mined a little more from the safety of these walls, then knocked back a potion so I could gather a meaningful amount without worrying. I basically just mined what I could to take full advantage of the duration of the 2 obsidian skin potions I'd found. On my way out of the depths of the lava, I found a new type of chest.
Oh, this requires a key, and I've got the key with me. Wait, I need to... Hang on. Enemies? Go away. No! Wait, what? Guys? What just happened? What am I gonna do? How did I do that? Oh no, am I like screwed now? Let me through somewhere. No, not in the lava. Not in the lava. Oh god. Oh, thank you for throwing me. That actually helps a lot. I'm gonna die. There's no way I'm making it out of this alive. We've confirmed today, but I'm not ready for this. What do I do now? Oh, I tapped out my game. Oh my god. The demon flew over the lava when it died. So I guess demons shouldn't die on lava.
The thing with those demons is that they can drop the voodoo doll. Chuck one of those into the lava and you'll spawn the wall of flesh. I can't believe how many times I accidentally bring on a boss fight in this playthrough.
I'm dead.
Surprised I lasted as long as I did, really. All of that hellstone I mined can combine with obsidian to get hellstone bars. I hadn't got any obsidian yet though. For that, I'll need to combine water and lava, then mine it. So I looked through my map for an easy spot to do that. I don't know why I didn't just bring some buckets of water with me, but I was looking for a place to mine a water pool on top of some lava. I ended up coming across a place where it was already naturally like that. I did still need to find a way to make some of my own though, because I wasn't sure how much I was gonna need. I came home that night with enough of the stuff to make an obsidian skull for immunity to fire blocks and a load of hellstone bars. Those make a whole set of armor, a molten axe, and another pickaxe upgrade. I also made an imp staff.
Oh, hello. Hello, friend. I guess you're gonna help me with stuff now.
On day 45, I figured out combining my lava charm with my obsidian skull. You can make 2 different items with this, but I was told it doesn't matter which I pick because they combine into another final item later. It's also about time I top up on my mana potions, which got me thinking about other potions. To find the recipes, the chat helped me out by asking me to check the guide using a bottle of water. That is a lot of potions. I got myself a little supply sorted, then started making the journey down to hell again so I could prep for the wall of flesh. As you probably saw in the accidental attempt, it'll continuously move from right to left, so my best bet is to do at least one super long platform so I can attack it on the move. There are no such thing as health and safety laws down here though, so I got attacked and fell in the lava. I tried to use an obsidian skin potion from my inventory, but couldn't figure out doing it quick enough and got cooked down here. I got back down here and carried on work for day 46, and when I reached that one treasure chest from last time, I actually had the shadow key with me to unlock it. It took a lot of the day for me to place a good amount of platforms with campfires now and again for a bit of extra health regen. Then I went all the way back to the beginning of it to chuck a guide voodoo doll into the lava and spawn that boss intentionally this time.
How do I throw it? Oh. Okay. Huh. Oh no, it did work. Okay, we're ready.
My poor piggy bank.
I'm doing fine. I'm so nervous.
As panicky as I was, it was definitely much easier having a surface to walk along. That would be if I placed enough of them.
Let's take out this one. I'm running out of platform here. This is not good. Okay, I did not have enough platform for this. Think quickly. Think quickly.
At least the obsidian skin is protecting me more this time. I had no choice but to just go with it.
Oh no, I'm getting trapped. This is not good. Okay, there we go. I got launched. It's fine. Okay, we've got this. We've got this. I'm no longer nervous. I mean, I am, but I can breathe. I'm assuming all the drops went down here. Did anything fall down here or does it float? Oh, there's loot down here. Where did it all go? Oh wait, there's something up there. I see something. I see something. Welcome to hard mode. Oh my god, I'm scared. Well, hello. What is that? Let me in here. I want that. Oh, well, let's not fall in the lava though. Oh, I got all sorts here. Hang on. Okay, I need a safe place to review my loot. This is not okay. Teleport home. I probably should do that, shouldn't I? Fine. Fine. Where is it? Cone hammer. Strong enough to destroy demon altars. Ah, that thing. Oh, obsidian clock. I don't really want that.
The pone hammer is the most important item here. I took a bit to try and sort my stuff out, and I think I'm going to stop mentioning this now. It's not till I reviewed this footage that I noticed quite how much time I've put into making an attempt at staying some sort of organised, so if we've just been out doing something and we skip a bunch of time when we come home, that's why.
Did I leave my piggy bank down there? Oh my god, I left my piggy bank down there. Let me go get the piggy bank because there's stuff in there. I think it's still right at the edge of that platform. You just buy a new one, but there's stuff in it! I've got loot inside it! Wait, does the new one have this? New one have the old stuff in it? Hang on a minute. Oh, there's more stuff here. So if I... Oh, yes, thank you. Right, let me have a look in here again, because gold dust, that's a material. Disco ball, that's fun. Listen, we've got to bring some, like, joy into these things sometimes. I mean, I don't regret that at all.
I also bought an ammo box for a chance to save ammo. Once you activate this, the buff sticks around until you die or remove it yourself. Very handy. I grabbed a fishing pole for potential future use, and found out I could combine a couple of trinkets to make some magic cuffs for some more max mana, and now we restore mana when hit, which happens pretty often. I then reforged my magic missile a few times to get some extra stats on it, but had terrible rolls before settling on one that added something. I set back out again to the corruption caves. Remember all those demon altars? We're gonna destroy some. 9 to be exact. Doing this will spawn some new ores, also referred to as Hardmode ores. For me, that's palladium, orichalcum, and titanium, since we're in a corruption world. Speaking of corruption, these biomes will now spread much quicker. I need to be careful about this because my NPCs will move out if their home gets corrupted. Monsters everywhere are generally harder, and we now have access to new bosses, loot, and other things. I'll touch on these more as we encounter them. I left the corruption to go hunt for those ores and came across my first cluster of palladium. I came back home the next morning because my inventory filled up so fast and I wanted to see what the palladium will make. Basically all the usual stuff at a higher tier. I was mainly after a pickaxe hoping for faster mining, but I don't have enough bars yet. I was also curious about the armor because now the hats give you more specialized options. I'll mainly be interested in any magic boosts, but my defense will actually suffer from it. Back out I went on the hunt for more ores when I found something new.
Okay, this is not what it used to be. What's this biome? Why does it look different? Also, it's really cute and I love it.
This is the Hallow, a new biome which also spreads, but your villagers won't leave because of it.
What is this? Oh, whoa, what's that? That looks terrifying. Oh no.
That's the aftermath of a meteorite that landed. This has actually been here since we defeated the Eater of Worlds. It really has been that long since I've run in this direction for any reason at all, but I was told I didn't need to be afraid and maybe I should mine it a bit. I took some of it with me to investigate later, then dipped back underground for those ores. To make my life easier, I drank a Spelunker potion which highlights ores and loot that I otherwise wouldn't have seen. This is where I discover I can't mine the higher tier ores yet, and I can't just chuck bombs at it either. This I actually need that pickaxe upgrade for, so I'll try and come back afterwards. I came back to base when I thought I had enough for the pickaxe. Gotta get myself that upgrade, though the modifiers probably couldn't have been much worse, so I asked my fellow goblin to reforge it till I got something better. I did also check out what I could make with the meteorite bars, mainly the armor. Its defense was much worse than my molten set, we can still benefit from the magic damage boost. The set bonus means the space gun costs no mana, but apparently that's not a good weapon, so I ignored it. I wanted to do more overland exploring that evening to see if there was anything else that had changed, but it wasn't long before I succumbed to the now even more dangerous jungle.
I swear. Oh, my health.
And a unicorn from the Hallow.
Hard mode is exactly as described, no false advertising here.
This time I brought some invisibility potions with me. I'd rather these monsters just don't perceive me. I did struggle with not being able to see myself though, so I ended up cancelling the effect early. I still had a water walking potion to help me out. I didn't find anything else new when I reached the ocean, so I walked back home because the travelling merchant was visiting. He didn't have anything I wanted today though, so it was back to the ore hunt for me when I discovered some new things in the cave. The underground Hallow is full of these crystals. It's super pretty down here. It's also pretty dangerous, especially in areas that used to be desert caves. I have no idea how I managed to survive this, but I didn't stay alive much longer after that, getting snuck up on whilst I was being distracted by loot. I made several regeneration potions in the hopes that this might keep me alive for longer since the cooldown on a normal healing potion is so long. I then spent the whole of day 51 mining until I had enough orichalcum ore to make several bars. Oh, and it's also a blood moon, and there are potentially some loot drops here I should be excited about.
What the heck are you? Oh my god. There's a boss. What?
I don't even know what the boss is here though, because I never even saw it. Hard mode blood moons, a whole new beast. I'll be honest, this was a very stressful night.
4 AM, okay, we're making progress. It's almost, wait, is it over? Everything just changed colour. I think it's over. I think we did it.
I got quite a lot of money, but gear-wise, nothing new on this night. With our home no longer being invaded, I could think about crafting again, noticing a new type of anvil here which I need to make the higher tier items. This shed's pretty much full now, so I really had to shove it in a corner, but now we have some new options. Definitely gonna make more of the stuff for armor and tools though. Whilst down in the caves hunting for more, I was also looking for some gelatin crystals which we'll use to call the Queen Slime for a fight. That's the next boss I wanted to aim for. I found a few of them underground in the Hallow, and she actually needs to be fought within the Hallow, so it's time to build yet another arena. There were so many things attacking me here that it took longer than I would have liked to finish it. I got it done the morning of day 53, so I thought why not just give it a go and see what happens.
18,000 health? Where are you? Oh, you're there. Oh, you're so pretty. You're so pretty. Ow, oh my god, you make little flying... Oh, stay away from me. Little flying slimes.
I was barely doing any damage while simultaneously taking quite the beating. It was only a matter of time before she'd defeat me. Safe to say, I was not ready. To do something a bit more peaceful this day, I thought it was time for another building. There were bound to be a lot of villagers we've yet to find just waiting for a new home, so here's space for 2 new friends, one of which will be the witch doctor. I thought they'd have something cool for us, but I didn't see anything of note here. That only leaves 1 space left, so I built another floor in case more villagers want to move in whilst I'm away. I set out to explore a new cave on day 54, in the jungle this time, or at least that was the intention. These tortoises hurt. I'm too persistent to give up, or just stubborn. You decide.
Oh, wizard, hello. No!
Now that I've died, the wizard will be at a new spot, so I can't just even go and find him there again. Now that I could gather the orichalcum, I was going to skip the palladium armor, but I guess that's just not going to be an option for me with all these deaths, so another new set it is. I will always pick the headgear option for the hats as these give the magic boosts, and the set bonus gives more life regen after striking an enemy. Very much needed. I heard you can get some fun loot from fishing crates, so I thought I'd try my hand at that. There's no minigame like the one in Stardew, but the bite animation on this is so much more subtle, so I really have to pay attention here. Fishing in the bigger bodies of water is supposed to give better results, so this is where I hung out until the following afternoon. And yes, that is a Joja Cola I fished up there. I wanted to try fishing in some other biomes, but not before hunting for more orichalcum whilst I was in an easier cave. I got back late that night and investigated some of the things I could make with the fish I just caught. I had to put any other plans on hold though, because the pirates were to invade on day 56.
Pirates? The pirates have arrived. Well, leave. Oh, they're strong. They're kind of strong.
I took quite a lot of NPC casualties during this onslaught, and they definitely took me out a good few times too. Especially because I wasn't expecting to see a boss here.
Wait, there's a boss now? What is the boss? No, don't open doors. Oh my god. Oh my god. Wait, well that didn't go to plan either. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I'm gonna die again. No way. Yep. There we go. Oh my god, walk the plank. Look at all the stuff on the ground. No, you don't get to run away. You don't get to run away.
Many deaths later, I managed to get the pirates to leave, by which point my inventory was full of mostly gold furniture which I was relatively unbothered about. This day made it pretty clear that I need all sorts of upgrades to stand a chance against the dangers of hard mode, so I started with a new pickaxe to access higher tier stuff later on. I didn't have enough orichalcum bars for anything else yet though it was back underground for day 57 to seek out some more. But I was also looking out for titanium too, the next best ore. Now, remember who you're watching here. Of course I was going to get distracted by loot, including finding a magic mirror which is basically like the recall potions but they're a permanent item instead. Or if you're a star doer, think of it like the return scepter. Unfortunately, that's where my luck ended. I'm not entirely sure what happened in here, but some things killed me. There were just a lot of enemies going on. I spent the rest of the day investigating what to craft next, one of those being the Sky Fracture, an upgrade to the magic missile.
Woo! Oh my god! So it's not a sword, but it shoots swords.
I also had to upgrade my Hellforge to a titanium one to smelt the titanium I found. This did end up eating an entire 30 of the ore I just mined. 16 bars really won't get us anywhere, but it was nice to have a look what to expect. Day 59 and there's me ugly mug again, sorry. Curse you recording PC for being such a pain in the butt. This entire day passed building a couple more housing spaces, then spent the night combing through some of the unexplored caves. I was hoping to find more titanium ore, but the local monsters were not a fan of my intrusion. I went right back to doing this for day 60. It took me till the afternoon to remember to use a spelunker potion, better late than never I suppose, and this time I came across the wizard without dying. Wizard! I'm not letting you get away this time. Hello. I mean the crystal ball sounds fun, but like, is it important? Great, a mana potion, I can buy mana potions. I didn't buy anything yet since I knew he'd be moving to town later anyway. Gotta reserve this space for loot, though I do wish at least one of my backpack slots was taken by some health potions here. I spot a loot thing up there. Oh, more! Oh my god. I'm gonna be okay. Wait, am I? Why am I on my horse? Hello? Have I run out of health potions? I've so run out, hang on. Oh, I put my potions away, that is exactly what happened. That's so funny. What an idiot. I didn't have enough ore to make anything I wanted still, so I made a few more spelunker potions before heading out again for more on day 61. This trip didn't last very long because my head was in another space talking about the party girl who had just moved in. I didn't really care about... Oh, I forgot about dying. I completely forgot about dying and health and stuff. I was so distracted by like, what is this party girl? Like, why is she here? What have you got for us? Party wagon? Oh, look at that. Firework fountain. Oh, bubble wand, cute. There's nothing I really need from her right now, but I was ready to buy the crystal ball from the wizard, except I was just about short of having enough money. Thankfully, it was raining slime this day, which meant it was also raining cash, if you kill them. So it didn't take long for me to be able to afford it. It doesn't tell you much, but using it gives you a buff which sticks around until you die or remove it yourself, a bit like the ammo box. With so much reliance on magic weapons, this item is definitely for me. I made another attempt mining that evening, but this dream was the first in a couple of weeks, so clearly I was rusty. No, that's not the potion. Wait, what's going on? Oh, there's two of them.
The woman was too stunned to speak.
I think there was just two of them on top of each other, right? Maybe I do just... No, please, okay. Alright, okay, nope, it's fine, it's gonna be fine. I kind of forgot I really improved my stuff recently, so I didn't have any reason to panic about this king slime. I suppose the cash helps pay back some of that crystal ball. I do wish that thing could tell me the future though, so I could avoid this. No, not again. I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. I regret putting my elevator here, in the desert. I made the smarter choice to move on to a different area for day 62, though having run out of spelunker potions and ingredients to make them, I had to rely on my eyesight and attention alone. I was also out here looking for Souls of Night, an important monster drop for boss fights later. I added another death to my total that night, and at this point I was just 7 titanium bars away from making that full set of armor, clearly something I'm in desperate need of with all these deaths. I was also getting fed up of my safe and piggy bank getting super full with all the loot, so it was about time I head to a demon altar to craft a void bag. This will automatically start picking up items when my inventory is full, and I can retrieve them from the bag later. Instead of continuing to die over and over again, I decided to begin a hunt for Sky Islands because there's gotta be some fun items up there, right? All I need is some gravitation potions to flip everything. Clearly, I was only just learning how these things work. Oh, we're just going, like, upside down. Oh, we're in space now. Oh. Okay. What? So do I just have to keep, like, covering more ground until... Oh, I didn't mean to do that. So it says 3-minute, press up to reverse gravity. Oh, I get it. My first Sky Island. And yes, it came with loot. Not that I ever ended up using any of this, really. But of course, a new environment means new enemies. This wyvern looks so cool, and killing it dropped some Souls of Flight, a material I'll need to craft some wings. I bounced around for the evening, looting more islands and slaying wyverns in mid-air with great difficulty. But then I didn't notice the gravity potion ran out. No. Ah. Oh no, my potion! Oh my god, that's so funny. I had a quick browse of all the wings that I could craft, but every single pair needed 20 souls and I only have 15. Story of my life. I returned to a lootless Sky Island the next day to try my hand at fishing there. I caught absolutely nothing of interest, so I focused my energy on tracking down those last Souls of Flight I need, as well as making sure to check out some other islands. These sky enemies hurt quite a bit though, and I wasn't exactly on top form for combat this stream. There's another one! Wait, hang on a minute, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die though. There ain't no way I'm surviving this, nope. Thankfully, I returned with enough souls to make some wings. Now I just needed to decide which ones. I already had the stuff for the harpy wings, but I was told pretty much instantly that these are terrible and please don't make them. So my aim was the fairy wings since I knew how to get the materials for those. All I needed to do was top up on enough pixie dust. And by the morning of day 65, I had my shiny new fairy wings for more flight and no more fall damage. I will say though, I just couldn't unlearn the muscle memory of trying to stop fall damage. I made sure to reforge them as well for another boost, and the extra defense from the armored trait was so very welcome. Okay! I'm happy with that, I'm happy with that. That gave me a bit more confidence to resume my ore hunt, and this time I managed to get away from death in one piece with heaps of ore. More than enough to craft the armor I wanted, which will give me a boost in magic damage, crit chance, and max mana. Perfect for me, for now. You know how it is with these games. With my leftover titanium, I made a new pickaxe. Then with my chest getting full of gear again, a portion of day 66 was dedicated to selling off most of the dupes or things that I think wouldn't serve me. I gotta keep on top of that space for future loot. It was a new stream that evening. Yep, I still had some recording issues, but after that new set of armor, I felt like I'd gotten my act together enough to give the Queen Slime another attempt. Do we just jump in? Do we just go for it? I'm so nervous! Whoa. Ow, ow, ow. Leave me alone. I'm trying to get potions in me. I was doing a lot more damage than 14 game days ago, but her second phase was really messing me up, especially being bounced around between all her little minion slimes like a panicky ping pong ball. There ain't no way I'm getting out of this alive. Yep. It was only a matter of time. I didn't really even have a chance to catch my breath because it was a blood moon that night, and then my home got overrun with goblins the next day. Thankfully, I wiped them all out whilst it was still pretty early in the morning. I felt like I upgraded what I could gear-wise, so I needed to rack my brain for more ways to defeat these hard mode bosses. I wanted to make a good variety of potions to boost my damage and survivability, and I got a useful hint from the chat to craft some heart lanterns. This is a way we can use all of those excess life crystals, and it gives increased health regeneration when you're in the area and can be used alongside campfires. Pretty easy to craft too. I slapped it down in my mini Hallow arena and summoned the Queen Slime again for a rainy battle in the dark. I made it to that second phase again without much issue, but the chaos of all the slimes and the projectiles flying around, and the fact that they're the same colour as my cursor, made it so insanely difficult for my eyeballs to help focus my aim or to even know where to look. Come on, grapple, 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 run! No! Damn it! At least I did considerably better this time. I needed help here, so I asked my chat who pointed me to the cobalt shields I had. I combined one with an obsidian skull for a trinket that makes me immune to both fire damage and knockback. I already have a skull on another accessory, but if I needed to switch out the molten charm, then I'd still have some protection here. I reforged it for some extra defense, then put it straight on so I can't get bounced around. I popped by the Hallow arena to place a bar statue there, but no fight yet since I'd now run out of gelatin crystals to spawn that slime. The travelling merchant was also in town, so I grabbed a couple of DPS meters. Gotta have a spare, we know what I'm like. After gathering a few more gelatin crystals, I picked out some more potions, made some adjustments to my arena to give a bit more space to play with, then spawned the Queen Slime again on day 69. And yeah, I did have to quickly switch out some forgotten gear on the fly. Looks like preventing any knockback and having more room to evade all the attacks was exactly what I needed to get over this slimy hurdle. Stay away from me! Oh my god, we've done it! I'm not celebrating too early until I get rid of all the little stragglers. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Oh my goodness. Sadly, the loot was of no use to me, but I was just glad that this was finally over. I wasted no time in beginning a new order of business, hunting for an Anklet of the Wind in the jungle caves. This loot hunt will be incredibly important, as this item is a material needed to upgrade my boots further, but after that boss fight, I definitely underestimated the dangers of the Hardmode jungle. A couple of jungle chests later, I found the Anklet. Apparently I got pretty lucky with this. Wait! I think it's there, hang on. I don't know why I was panicking so much about making space. It's not like the Anklet was going anywhere, but we've got it now. I continued my loot hunt until my death the next day, but that was fine because it meant I was at home to craft the lightning boots. I appreciated the new boost in movement speed, but these too are still tagged as a crafting material, so I checked the guide to find out the next upgrade. Adding some ice skates will allow me to move better on ice. I have a pair of ice skates, so I made those frostbark boots, and some celestial cuffs, which should help manage my mana. I noticed those boots still say they're a material. This is one heck of a crafting chain. I'd need to combine them with some lava waders. Those need to be crafted with another item and some water walking boots, which I definitely don't have yet. There's apparently a small chance of finding these in water treasure chests, so it's time for a swim. No boots to be found in the easy to reach ocean chests, so the next best bet was some ocean fishing crates with the help of some crate potions to increase my chances. I planned to stick out the duration of the 3 potions I had, but the blood moon had foiled my plans. No, not again! I went home for the night to protect my villagers from the scary things that come out in the dark, and got the silliest weapon as one of the drops. Strong KO cannon, 42 melee damage. Shoots a boxing glove, wait. That's pretty good. That's satisfying. That's so satisfying. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it on me. I opened all the fishing crates on day 72, but no boots here because I specifically need ocean or seaside crates. I had one, but it just contained a trident I don't even want. I wasn't up for more fishing just yet, so I made some preps towards our next boss fights. I crafted a mechanical eye and mechanical worm to summon them. I only crafted one of each for now, and I'll be using the eye to take on the twins first. I didn't know what to expect. This attempt was really just to feel it out and see what I'm dealing with. As you might be able to tell from my dwindling HP, I'm still not amazing at evading attacks, and so it was really only a matter of time before I met my demise. Getting them below half health wasn't too bad for a first blind attempt though. It didn't help that I forgot to put my shield on for knockback either, and at this point, I was getting a lot of questions as to why I'm still wearing the magiluminescence. Whilst it wasn't helping me in many other ways, I was enjoying the light it was emitting. I hadn't figured out getting light pets yet, and I forgot I could use potions to help with light too, so we'll just have to deal with this hindrance for the foreseeable future. I'd also not added any heart lanterns around here yet, so I hung a couple of those along with a bar statue and tried again, except this time I ran out of time due to the sun rising. You can only fight this boss at night. What a waste. It seems I'd outgrown my main makeshift arena in its current state, so day 73 was for creating an extension, both horizontally and vertically. I wanted to test out my new adjustments that night, but there was a major blizzard making it harder to move and see, and it was causing some major lag. So instead of attempting a fight at the speed of a PowerPoint presentation, I put this off for now. Something else required my attention anyway. If you're familiar with Terraria, you might notice that I've done absolutely nothing about the spreading corruption up until now. For those who are unaware, the corruption biome spreads quicker in hard mode, and if it takes over my village, my NPCs will be run out of their homes. We don't want that, so here I am blowing up a huge trench wide enough to stop the spread. I did allow myself some looty distractions, but I ran out of bombs the following morning. I paused that task till I can get some more. It took me most of the day to sort out the loot I'd just fetched, and checking on my arena that evening, the nasty weather had cleared, so I wanted to take a hit at the twins again.
No, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I need more help.
I did worse than last time. Back to the drawing board. I wanted to give more thought to my weapon since I'd been running the Sky Fracture for a while now, but whilst talking and thinking about that, I went loot hunting and continued working on the trench. That job was done when I reached Hell, where I happened to pick up a star cloak. I need this for another craftable accessory, and I guess I was so excited that I ended up cooking myself.
What an idiot! I didn't realise where my health was, that's fine. We'll go home and deposit some stuff.
I had a choice of things to craft with that star cloak, but the mana cloak was the most appealing and would make a nice addition to combine with the mana flower I was already wearing. Perhaps there were some more goodies waiting for me in these fiery depths, so I scoured the place for obsidian chests. I came home without anything of note on day 76, so I didn't miss this visit from the travelling merchant, and it was a good thing I checked because there's a hefty weapon upgrade in here. It cost more than I had, so I took the opportunity to sell off more excess items, then I grabbed the Zappinator, which on paper has over double the magic damage than my Sky Fracture. I reforged it to make it even more deadly, and since everyone was partying, I was pointed over to the party girl to check for new items. She gave me a slice of cake. A never-ending slice. Placing this on the table, I can come and take a bite for a temporary boost in movement and mining speed. I was hopeful my new Zappinator would be what I needed to get past the twins, but once again, the Blood Moon stood in my way.
Fruity Pebbles aren't really a thing here. Blood Moon! Okay, we're not doing it tonight. Never mind!
No boss fight tonight, but I still got to give my shiny new weapon a very thorough test run. The description of this thing says it might be broken, and as a result, the lasers that shoot out have randomized effects. An absolute blast to use in my opinion. When the sun rose on day 77, I ended my fishing break and returned to the ocean to hunt for crates again, still hoping for those water walking boots. I opened any ocean and seaside crates as soon as I reeled them in, and unboxed my boots that evening, but having just drank another crate potion, I stuck out its duration to not waste any of that loot potential. It was kinda nice opening them and getting a few free potions, and other stuff. Embarrassingly, it took me the entire night to track down the obsidian rose I knew I had stored somewhere, but with that I could finally craft the lava waders and combine those with my frostbite boots into the terrasbite boots. No longer a crafting material, these were now its final form. The best boots I could get. Boots are the hero! I mean, look at everything they can do.
The finest boots. Light, super fast running, extra mobility on ice, 8% increased movement speed, ability to walk on water, honey and lava, immunity to fire blocks, 7 seconds of immunity to lava, reduces damage from touching lava. Well, I guess, should I be reforging those as well? What do I do with these? Ooh, I'll have a look at that in a minute.
I could only afford to reforge these once, so I might come back and try again later. Having a pretty spendy few days, I was hoping the travelling merchant wouldn't have anything too exciting this day, but he decided to bring this.
Is that what I think it is? Is that I think I need this in my life. I need to buy that immediately.
I prioritised the lifeform analyzer first. I had some spare stuff to sell with me anyway, so I managed to get my hands on that blue egg too.
Alright, now I have enough. I've spent like all of my gold on this.
Not a want, but a need.
Yeah! Oh my god. So worth it. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
The struggle to find what I needed yesterday was a sign that I should have a minute to reorganize so that I could go into my next boss attempt that night with a clearer mind. This is gonna be a terrible night? What does that mean? Okay, well, we're not doing that tonight either, I guess. This was actually a good thing. The twins were gonna spawn naturally that night, so it was essentially a free attempt. I made it to my arena just in time. Problem is, I was really relying on needing a second to breathe once I arrive at the arena to be fully ready. At least, that's the excuse I'm telling myself this time. Armed with a new tip on day 79, I was headed for the jungle to collect some buckets of honey because standing in it can provide some health regen. Okay, yep, cool. Yep, okay. We're doing this again apparently. I guess I was due my next accidental boss, but being an early game one, it didn't really give me any trouble. Back at the arena, I got started with my paddling pools of honey. The extra regen lasts 30 seconds at a time, so I'll need to remember to take a dip every now and again. I dotted a few of these around so I'm never too far away. Problem is, these were all right in the ground, so May let me in on a very helpful tip. The party girl sells bubbles. These blocks allow for fluid to be held in the middle, but instead of being solid blocks, you can walk right through them. You don't need to fully close them off like I have here. In fact, only 3 bubble blocks are necessary to hold the honey in, but I don't learn this for a little bit. This amazing tip will mean I can keep my mobility and run for these buffs. It will slow you down for a second, but it's better than me having to drop all the way to the ground and limiting my means of escape. The snowstorm meant I had to pause work here, and it ended up being a blood moon again anyway. A really good one actually. I got an amazing drop here. What's this? A money trough? Someone's a flying piggy bank to store my items. The only problem with good loot is that I tend to lose focus on, you know, staying alive. I made it through the rest of this werewolf heavy night in one piece, but I didn't even get a chance to breathe when I was alerted to another goblin invasion first thing on day 80. The game's really saying don't get off today, you aren't getting off this game. I'm just glad that these don't tend to absorb my entire day. I wasn't about to wait any longer to see how this money trough works. Okay, so now I don't need to carry this piggy bank anymore. Turns out, pigs can fly. The weather was now cooperating for me to build more bubbles at the arena, and added even more platforms whilst I was at it. I had to go home to top up on battle supplies like potions, and with all those recent boss attempts, I'd really diminished all my alchemy supplies, so I finally got around to wanting to grow my own. I bought a few different planters from the Dryad, not yet knowing that the different planters are pretty much just cosmetic, and that I'd actually need to plant what I want inside with seeds. It sounds really obvious now saying it out loud. Good thing I had a live chat to give me a bit of a nudge here. Oh, I understand. I'm dumb. I've got you. Daybloom seeds, give me all of them. They were pretty without planting anything in them, but I really need more alchemy flowers. Deathweed is one of the ones I need, so I plan to take a jog to the corruption where they grow when I made an alarming discovery. Trying to see if I can find any, Oh, wait, that didn't work. The corruption should have stopped spreading at that trench we made. Clearly, there were some parts that weren't wide enough, and the corruption was still able to make that jump. I worked on joining the old hole up with a new one, and as an extra safety measure, I was told adding a layer of crafted blocks should help prevent them crossing, so I lined one of the sides with stone bricks. It's as time consuming as it sounds, taking the entire night, and along the way, I made sure to chop off any extra blocks that might have been narrowing the gap in certain places. Not much to report for day 82 up until I headed over to the arena. First thing I did there was to remove the embarrassing collection of gravestones all over the place. We don't want the bosses knowing how easy I've been to kill. I also tried to fix up any bumps and holes where I might get stuck on the ground. This time, I felt more ready than ever. Screw it. It's time. I accidentally scrolled off my weapon here and lost track of my cursor, cueing not the type of disaster you might have expected. No! What an idiot! Oh my god, okay, remove that mirror. I'm gonna scream, I'm actually gonna scream. As much as the magic mirror is great for a quick escape, it also leads to unintended ones. Even though I tried to sprint straight back, the twins despawned before I could get there. Suppose that gave me time to take a trip out to the jungle to build some housing out there. My procrastination on setting up another pylon is coming to an end. The jungle enemies are pretty hearty, so I went with some sort of treehouse vibe. It sounds cuter than it ended up being. It's still a rectangle, just on a stick, so a stick house. Anyway, the stick house was ready to move into on day 83, so I assigned the Dryad, the Witch Doctor, and the Zoologist, all of which love living in the jungle. They'll make their way over when I'm not around. Still in a building mood, I got started on a greenhouse placed next to my storage, since I'll be needing way more planting space than the roof garden from earlier. I was pleased the Dryad hadn't moved out of the main town yet because it meant I could grab some more planters from her. All day bloom ones this time. I just prefer how they look. I've now got loads more room to plant, but just as I was digging out my seeds, the twins decided they were going to invite themselves for a battle. I didn't quite make it to the arena in time, getting stuck in this cave on my way. No, go away! I'm not ready, I'm not ready, I'm not ready! Luckily, I wasn't too far away, and no magic mirror in my hotbar this time. I really found my flow tonight now that I had the extra space to avoid attacks, the honey bubbles for extra health regen, and taking out one eye at a time helped too. I think I've got this, I think I've got this, I think I've got this. Oh my god, are we doing this? Finally! Oh my god, we did it! We freaking did it. Right, we can actually move on with our lives. The most important loot drop here were the Souls of Sight and the Hallowed bars. You'll see what these are for soon. Right now, I wanted to check my jungle residents were settling in, and it seems that they'd gotten cozy, because I was able to get my hands on that jungle pylon I was after. With that, I've now got a quick way between this location and my home. I could get on with the flower planting on day 84. I tried to get a bit of everything in there. With that dealt with, I checked what I could do with these hallowed bars, and it seems that a new set of armor is on the horizon, but clearly I'm gonna need quite a lot more of them. There's also an ancient version of the armor too, but apparently this is just cosmetic. Even though that last fight ended up being successful, I thought it still might be a good idea to extend my platforms to the cliff so there isn't just a sudden drop without any running space. I then used a mechanical worm to call upon the Destroyer, the second of our mechanical bosses. It's basically just a bigger, scarier, robotic eater of worlds. With the twins being arguably more difficult, I took this thing out without much hassle. That's a lot of lasers. We got it, that was fine. That was fine. Amongst the loot were some more hallowed bars, and I was pretty grossed out by the trophy and the mask. Since it didn't take me long and I had some spare summoning items with me, I took out the Destroyer a second time, as well as the twins again. Might as well use the extra attempts to stock up on materials like those hallowed bars so I could teleport home to make a shiny new set of armor. I had plenty of hallowed bars left over, but I needed some extra Souls of Light from the Hallow Caves on day 85 for what I wanted to make next. I might have managed some bosses last night, but apparently it was time to be humbled again when I tried to take on too many littler enemies at once. I was directed over to the underground jungle instead, where I might find something useful. Oh, what's this? And how do I get in there? This wasn't it. This is the wall of a jungle temple, which is only accessible after beating Plantera, another boss. We were hoping I might just happen upon said new item, but eventually I needed a clue. All I've got to go on now is that it's heart-shaped, and it's not a life crystal. Wait, is that it? This one had already broken off the plant. Life fruit? Permanently increases maximum life by 5. I'll show you shortly what I should actually be looking for, but I can use 20 of these to bring my total health up to 500. I definitely need that to compensate for my lack of skill. The plants are not very big at all, so I'm grateful that the Spelunker potions highlight them. Really helps with tracking them down in dark corners. I mostly used them as I went in case of danger, and we know that there will be danger. Let me just walk into some thorns and die. It's me. I'm the danger. With my first day blooms ready in the greenhouse, I could restock some of my potions on day 86. Instead of hunting for water puddles to fill the jars at, I made a metal sink which I pretty much just shoved where it would fit. Looks like the 10 extra health made me feel better about trying to hunt for Souls of Light again, plus I was just generally trying to be a bit more careful. I needed 10 of these to craft the mechanical skull, my next boss summoning item. Like most of my first boss attempts, I just summoned the thing and went for it. I had it in my head that this was going to be tough. I think I might have heard some horror stories or something, but I actually did okay here, so I think what I heard was about the higher difficulties. Woo! Another one down! Look at this progress burst today. The jungle grows restless. What does that mean? This was no need for panic. It just means Plantera, the next boss, is now available for a fight. I was at home briefly to start tidying the loot, but was immediately yelled at to make my way back because an important item, the Souls of Fright, were left hovering in the sky. Definitely needed some help locating them again. This is why it was nice to go through this live. With those, I could craft a pickaxe axe as an upgrade to my titanium pick. Another perk of being live is that without my chatters here, I would have ignored this rainbow rod because the damage numbers appear to be less than half of my Zappinator on paper, but I was told to just give it a go. I needed to gather more pixie dust to craft it, and I got an achievement for doing so too. Prismancer, right, let's have a look at this. Oh, it is so fast. I guess think of it like an upgraded magic missile. I love it, I love it. It's so pretty as well. I also wanted to make an optic staff, so now I can summon my very own twins to fight for me. Because of the bewitching table, I had 2 sets, so I literally now have 4 eyes fighting by my side. After a bit more messing around with my rainbow rod, It was time for another alchemy session before heading into the jungle. The new pickaxe axe means I've got the ability to mine a new ore called chlorophyte. Yep, another tier of gear on the way. Yay! Photosynthesis. Can't wait to find out what it does. I mean, not photosynthesis. I know what photosynthesis does. I mean, this ore. I did nothing but mine for more of this stuff into day 88, and chomped on any live fruit as I found them. I mean, I was also hunting for more loot, but really that's just a given for me. Compass! Oh my god, okay. Oh, wait, Philosopher's Stone, didn't I need that? My stores were getting full by the evening, and I had almost 300 ore. It's probably time to go home. Okay. Oh my god, I'm getting such a numb bum. That compass was actually a key to freeing up an inventory slot. Using a gold watch I crafted, which is better than my tin one, I could combine it with my depth meter and that compass to make a GPS device to show my location and the time with just one slot. The Philosopher's Stone got added to the Band of Regeneration for the Charm of Myths. This provides health regen and a 25% cooldown reduction on health potions. A necessity for me. It does nothing in the slot I've equipped it to, but it's there for when I want to swap into it later. And finally, thanks to my focused mining session, I had more than enough chlorophyte bars to make the entire set of armor in one go. On day 89, I began work on the Corruption Prevention Trench from the east side of the map. I'd not really prioritised this before since it was quite a bit further away from my base, but now that I have friends living in the jungle, I needed to make sure it didn't get over there. Ow, oh rip. The bird, we probably don't want to do this right now, right? How close a call is that? Would a bomb have destroyed that? That's so, whoa. For those unfamiliar, the reason I was freaking out so much is that destroying the pink flower will spawn the next boss. I marked it for later in case this was the only one I could find, but apparently there was no cause for concern because it needs to be broken with my pickaxe anyway. I wish that were true for some other similar things. No! No! This is not quite what I had in mind, but I think we'll be fine. The big bee didn't stand a chance against my rainbow rod, but then I ran low on sticky bomb supplies shortly after, so back home I went to stock up. I completed the trench the following morning, then used the opportunity of being by the jungle to hunt for a better positioned Plantera bulb. This one's better because it's closer to a much more open space, and that means it needs less mining out to make a mini arena down here. I didn't have the supplies with me to build one, so I got everything together at home and got building overnight. This did take me until the afternoon on day 91, but now, not much left to do than to see what I'm dealing with. I was a little terrified to begin with, but it looks like the twins really were the main hurdle, because it didn't really take too long to burn this snappy weed at all. I said hello to our newest arrival, the cyborg. Super cool looking, but offers nothing I wish to purchase. This night was once again clearing out unneeded items, a truly never-ending problem. Then on day 92, with some help, I found a particularly useful item called the Clentaminator. You can load these with solutions to destroy or create biomes, a potential answer to keeping the corruption away. Spoiler alert though, I never ended up spending the time to figure out how to get the right solutions, so we're pretty much just gonna forget about this from here on out. Once I got organised, I was oh so eager to make my way back to the jungle temple. It's open now that we've defeated Plantera. I have got to comb it for loot. I did exercise some caution moving through this place because it was full of traps and enemies, but at the end of the meandering tunnels was this bigger room with a shiny thing and of course, more loot. It was pretty dark, so I wanted to light it up a bit, and then I wanted a minute to deposit stuff into my piggy bank. Ah! I didn't mean to do that! Okay, I didn't mean to do that, I didn't mean to do that, I didn't mean to do that, I didn't mean to do that. Oh no! That shiny thing is an altar where I can use some power cells I got along the way to summon this next boss. With no platforms, food, potions, or brain cells, I was never surviving this. Damn it! Listen, I survived as long as I could. It's not even hard yet. Rude. I got my first solar eclipse on day 93. These are no joke. It's basically the day version of the blood moon, but it definitely feels far more difficult. To be fair, this was my only death before the event ended, and I did manage to get my hands on a weapon I've come to understand many people love, the Death Sickle. As awesome as this thing is, it's a melee weapon, so I won't get too much use out of it. On day 94, I returned to the jungle to set up a little arena down here. Next time, I want to fight the Golem boss on purpose, and that moment came this afternoon. Having platforms as a means of escape made all the difference, so this first real attempt was successful. Look, we're not really going to count that last one, are we? Oh my god. Well, I hated every second of that. The small space was so chaotic, I feel like I could just feel my brain physically doing work. I combined the sunstone I just got with the moonstone from the solar eclipse to make the celestial stone for a minor increase in, well, quite a lot of things. I'm not entirely sure why I didn't want to at least keep this on my person though. My next stop was the dungeons now that I'd obtained a couple of special treasure chest keys. I'm coming up on the desert chest here, which I don't have the key for, but I got a helpful tip from the chat to change my torch markers to use a letter instead. D for desert in this case, and that way I can differentiate them on the map. It's not perfect, but as long as I can kinda tell what it is. I did have the key for the Hallow chest, but the rainbow gun inside, as fun as it sounds, is apparently terrible, so that was a bust. My only other key was for the jungle chest, which was also kinda disappointing. There is a chest for each biome, and the keys are a rare drop from the monsters from said biome, so it may be a little while until we see another. The beginning of day 95 was also the beginning of a new stream. Since the last one, I'd done a bit of research on light pets and realised that this shadow orb I've had since day 40 is in fact a light pet. With this, I don't need to wear the Magiluminescence anymore, and I haven't needed to all this time. It's not quite as bright, but I can now take advantage of other boosts instead, whilst thinking about getting a better one. That's a job for another day though. My more immediate plans involved catching truffle worms in the mushroom biome, which I needed to summon the next boss on the list. Once I'd swiped a few, I packed up some materials to build another arena, which needs to be over the ocean this time. But I don't think you'll be surprised when I tell you that as soon as I was ready to head out, I was hit by a blood moon again. Every time I'm literally just about to go out and like figure out a boss fight, every time. I wasn't really feeling a night full of blood moon monsters, so I ducked into a jungle cave with the goal of finding the rest of the life fruit I'm allowed to consume. I had 15 to go. Well, 14 now. I pretty much went full tunnel vision on this task with the help of a spelunker potion and my metal detector. I tracked down and chomped my last life fruit the morning of day 97, but came home with an extra one to keep on hand just in case it's needed for something. I was then free for a beach trip to build the ocean arena. Like the others, it's basically just some rows of platforms with some campfires, heart lanterns and stars in a bottle, but now I'd unfortunately run out of bar statues for extra defense. Can't forget about our honey bubbles either. To kick off our first boss attempt, I loaded my fishing rod with the truffle worms and fished up Duke Fishron. That's who we're gonna be fighting. Oh my god. There's quite the difficulty ramp. That thing hurts. I was gonna need some upgrades again. The first thing I could think of was to reforge some of my stuff now that I built up some cash. I opted for some better food for a bigger stat boost, and decided it might be worth me taking a bar statue from home. What followed was a night full of potion making, including some new ones I'd not used before. I could only hope this was enough for my next attempt on the dawn of day 98. Unfortunately, it was not.
Emotional damage!
Seeing as we were closing in on our 100 days, I didn't want to end up being stuck on that stupid flying pig shark as I affectionately referred to it. Totally not because I kept forgetting its name. Having then found out it was an optional boss that people tend to do later, I changed direction to pick a fight with the cultist, the next required boss. I forgot to go get all my buffs. Hang on a minute. I'll come back. Excuse me while I get my life together. I know I killed most of you already, but let me just give me a moment. I left my keys at home. I did also need to place a heart lantern and a star in a bottle here too, then got rid of the last standing devotee to call upon the big-ish boss. This one had a whole bunch of things to think about, the most annoying being that he creates copies of himself, and if you hit the wrong one, you get attacked by a dragon whilst trying to avoid a whole bunch of other spells. As much as I love my rainbow rod, sometimes the homing will pass through a fake copy on its way to the real one, so I really should have been more careful. I really didn't know how I even survived this long. The lunatic cultist little minions won't respawn till tomorrow now, and it was pretty clear I was due some gear upgrades, so I asked my chatters for help. They directed me down to the dungeon to gather ectoplasm, which will go into the next metal bars. Enemies down here have a chance to turn into a dungeon spirit upon death, and killing those gives us the chance to get ectoplasm, and I'm gonna need quite a lot of it. How goes the hunt? Do you know what, should I take the ectoplasm out of here? Oh wait, I've got 11. Ah! Okay, well, I'm dead. So there's that. My ghost hunt continued throughout day 99 with another totally avoidable death along the way, but I did pick up an Inferno fork of my own, which became part of my weapon lineup for certain situations. My ectoplasm stocks were creeping up slowly but surely, but because I'd miscounted days somewhere, I stayed down here looking for more throughout day 102. I thought this was day 99. I was originally informed I'd need over 50 of the stuff for a new set of armor, but it wasn't until the evening that the information got corrected. I only need 27. It's all good. Oh, that's so funny. That's actually hilarious though. Using that ectoplasm, I could convert my chlorophyte bars into spectra bars, which would turn into a set of spectra armor. The best thing about this set, it's great for magical types like myself. I began a new cultist attempt that night with my shiny new outfit. I did better this time, but I got pretty unlucky with the dragon here, so this was not the night. No! Damn it! I was doing so well this time! Fear not though, this is not the way to end it. I had every intention of this being a 100 days video, but I ended up changing my mind. Stick with me here until we beat the Moon Lord sometime beyond this 100 days. It doesn't go beyond enough to make an entire another video, so let's see how long it takes me to get there in this one. Plus, do remember that I still thought this was day 99 and not 100, so on day 101, which I thought was 100, I wanted to take care of something I knew I could get done. I gathered pixie dust and souls of light towards a new light pair, in particular, the fairy bell. The shadow wall was a little dim and slow, and I was after something a bit brighter, plus this is way cuter. To round the day with a victory after the recent squashings, I wanted to get another dose of revenge on the Golem after that very first surprise attack. Oh my god, I did it, oh my god. I really didn't think I was getting through that. What did I get from that? One of the weapons I got this time was the Staff of Earth. This thing is murderous indeed. It became one of my favourites, bowling down hordes of enemies. With a bit of time left tonight, I wanted to add to the wins by burning Plantera again. The Staff of Earth isn't great for battles like this one, but my rainbow rod didn't let me down. I got a wasp gun this time, perhaps more like a painful bee gun, but I've got enough weapons now so this will live in a chest. I used that night in the morning of day 102 to get my chest in order to start off a new stream. Where I felt like I was closing in on those 100 days, I didn't want to waste those precious final minutes on the previous days for chest organisation, and as a result, it's just a whole hot mess in here. I just couldn't find anything anywhere. I found a small corner of the map that I hadn't flown over for Sky Islands, and it's a good thing I checked them because I came across an untouched island. I see loot. Loot we have not yet claimed. I was also hoping to find a Martian probe to trigger an alien invasion, an event I'd not yet experienced. Thankfully, I didn't destroy it because if I did, this would apparently stop the invasion from happening. Not that I knew it at the time. I returned home to start handling the attacks, making sure to throw several rocks at them, give them a real taste of the earth. Only thing is, they were really set on giving me a taste of space death. That appears to— oh my god, what the heck is that? Go away! Maybe let's use a weapon that it can actually— please don't laser me, that's rude. How am I still alive? I'm using my void bag to try and attack a boss. Can we maybe not? How am I still alive? How am I still alive? How am I still alive? Go away! Damn it. These interplanetary visitors were really giving me a run for my money, but when the mini-boss spawned for a second time, I felt a bit more prepared now knowing what to expect. Thanks to my rainbow rod, I could hide at a building whilst dishing out the damage, successfully taking it down. Twice actually, because it came back again towards the end of the night. I got a couple of weapons and stuff, but really nothing overly relevant for my playstyle. I hunted for remaining Sky Islands again on day 103. At this point, most of the items up here I don't really need anymore, but this loot goblin just had to know what was in those chests. Even though I searched most of the day, that island was actually my last. I really wanted to get back to some more major progress again, so I gave the cultist boss another go. I was still having some trouble identifying the correct copy of him, so I passed away after getting him down to 30% health. Time for more gear adjustments it seems. I generally had items I was happy with, but what I could do was reforge some of them to favour some extra defense. Whilst doing that, I was told that the desert chest in the dungeon has a chance of finding an item I might just love. I didn't know what it was going to be, and I didn't want it spoiled for me either, but I set out on day 104 for a massacre in the desert because the biome keys need to drop from the enemies here, and unfortunately we're looking at just a 1 in 2,500 chance. Having found out it doesn't need to be desert specific enemies, I took advantage of the slime rain above ground to get some much easier kills in instead. I even ended up melting the king slime again out here. Spawning easy bosses might have been a decent idea to attempt farming this key. Like I've got 17 suspicious eyes that can go to good use, and on top of that, I had a blood moon to add to the enemy count. It's nice to be able to get through an Eye of Cthulhu in a matter of seconds, but you might notice I wasn't just in any desert, this was a Hallow desert. I'm having fun. Oh, megaphone. Immunity to this is happening. Okay, I'm gonna try and run all the way over to our mini arena situation. Hitting that butterfly summons the Empress of Light, a very difficult optional Hallow boss. Needless to say, I didn't make it to the arena. I didn't even see the prismatic lace wing at the time, but I didn't let that deter me from continuing this night of slaughter, still hoping for that desert key. I came back to Town keyless on day 105. I had to sell off some of last night's drops so I don't have to clear them out of my chest later. I wanted to clear that space to trigger a solar eclipse, again for that stupid desert key. No luck today either, but I did get a Neptune shell which I could combine into a moon shell. Adding that to my celestial stone, I got the celestial shell, which does all of these things. I swapped it out with my mana cloak because the extra stat boost across the board would probably be of benefit. After mining for more chlorophyte, I made some more spectre bars on day 106. I needed advice on how to progress, and was told another change I could try was a new headpiece. Instead of the mask, I was going to try out the hood. I do wish you could see the effect from this part from the crafting menu, but instead of a reduction in mana cost, I'll take 40% less magic damage, and this will be converted to healing instead. Valuable for a fight with a cultist. My next attempt with him that night was far more manageable. These changes were just what I needed to finally defeat him. I'm having a major deja vu moment somehow. Which, considering... Oh my god, we did it, we did it, we did it, we did it, we did it. What is that? What is all of this? What is happening? The fun bit. I'm just panicking at the moment. Panicking and throwing rocks. 4 celestial pillars had now spawned across the map. I'll need to take these down, but first I need to defeat 100 of its enemies to remove its shield. I decided to use my cultist boss arena to help me through these brutal monsters, but my potion buffs have worn off one by one. This death gave me a minute to look at the whole map to see what I was up against, and here I learned that they were pretty evenly spread out, and that there are 4 different types, each with their own hazards. I went back to the solar one that I already started to finish off the last few monsters, and now that the shield was down I could do damage to the pillar itself and eventually destroy it. We got rid of it. My mind goes numb? What does that mean? In the midst of my next panic session, I almost left behind the most important loot. What's all this? Oh, we are gonna need a lot of these. I moved along to the vortex pillar. The whole background changing with these is pretty intense, and these aliens mess me up too. I was definitely gonna need help with some more potions here, and I also cooked my golden squirrel into a golden delight. That's pretty horrifying to say out loud, but it's one of the better foods in the game. I won't be eating this just yet. I only had 1 golden food, and I wanted to be pretty sure that I could survive most of the 48 real-life minutes that it would provide me. Let's be honest, that was never gonna happen. I intended to use the pylons to teleport closer to the next pillar, but I couldn't figure out for way too long why it said the pylon wasn't in the right biome. Turns out I hadn't noticed that the hallow had spread over here, and whilst the NPCs can still live in here, it's no longer a forest and therefore not compatible with the forest pylon in this exact spot. This was frustrating in the moment, because it seemed that travelling back to the area of that nebula pillar took longer than the amount of time I was able to stay alive. I was reassured though that this event does ramp up many people's death counts, and hopefully this wasn't just an attempt to make me feel better. I switched focus to the closer to home Stardust pillar instead on day 108 whilst discussing options for getting higher quantities of decent food to help me along because I was very much still stuck on that struggle bus. One option was to buy a party centre from the party girl so I could start a party. This makes new options available from her shop, but here we're only interested in the pig renatas. I could pour some money into this for the small chance to find bacon, if I'm lucky, but after breaking 10 open, I found none at all, so I scrapped the idea for now. I just didn't have the patience for this for some reason, but apparently I did have the patience to endure multiple deaths. Make it make sense. I guess it's not so bad when this one's basically next to my home, and I got there eventually just by repeatedly setting the thing on fire. The Stardust fragments meant I could make a new staff for a new minion. A beautiful dragon. Rather than having multiple dragons, summoning a second time increases its length and makes it more powerful. I adore this thing. That night, I set out to the jungle to see if there was an issue with the pylon over there. It's still very much in the jungle, but it was someone else that actually spotted the real issue. Forest pylon is in the hallow. It was a bit more obvious now that the hallow had spread a little more. I tried to hunt for a hallow pylon, but with too many neighbours, nobody was happy enough to sell one. I don't know how I didn't think of this earlier, but an even simpler solution, I could just pick up the forest pylon and move it a little bit into the forest biome again. I did still want a hallow pylon, so on day 109, I built the wizard his very own tiny house. I need to give him time to officially move, so I attempted to make progress on the nebula pillar. I pretty much just accepted at this point that I need to die and run back multiple times. What is that? What was that? Oh my god! What? I took a little break that night to at least get through most of the blood moon, but seeing as the pillar's monsters apparently take over the spawns for the area, I didn't need to do this and resume the slow progress. I'm gonna die a lot anyway, I might as well just keep going. I was relieved to be done with the nebula pillar the next morning. I collected up those fragments and asked the guide what I could make with them. The armour from this one was a magic set. colour me interested. But I was met with immediate heartbreak finding out I'd need luminite bars, which I can only obtain after defeating the Moon Lord, so that's a no-go for now. The Nebula Blaze, however, is a good way to go. It still has homing, so it felt like a pretty direct upgrade to the Rainbow Rod. It got a proper test drive whilst trying to take out the Vortex Pillar, our fourth and final one. I still used my other weapons too to help destroy it and its minions, and I actually made it through this one without any more deaths. Basking in my victory, I was completely unaware of what would happen next, and my stream chat was getting suspiciously quiet about it. Whoa, what's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? What is going on? What just happened? Why is it all fuzzy? Ooh, oh. Hello? I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm going to the nearest arena that I know exists. I could not be more unprepared, but I was still gonna give it my all. Maybe I should just try killing this middle thing over and over. Maybe not, maybe not. Oh, that's a big eyeball. I'm having trouble thinking about avoiding things. Wah! Okay. Not gonna lie, for a very first panicked attempt, I was surprised to stay alive for this long. I'm assuming I shouldn't be near that. No! My brain was turned to jam. To be able to spawn the Moon Lord again, I have a couple of choices. I can kill the cultist again and redo all of those pillars, or I can craft a celestial sigil as a summoning item. On an unrelated note, whilst I was sorting some stuff in the process, I happened upon a hallow pylon at the pirate shop, so I guess the wizard didn't need a new house after all. Anyway, since I was going to need more of those fragments, I opted to kill the cultist again and respawn the pillars. Yes, it was painful last time, but now I've got a couple of little upgrades under my belt, and it only took a couple of minutes to melt the boss on day 111. The closest pillar this time was the Nebula one, and amongst the chaos here, I accidentally teleported home. No! Oh no! Well, okay then. Magic Mirror, you've done it again. At least it wasn't a death, I suppose. I'll spare you the details because you know what comes next with the rest of them, but I spent the remainder of this day and another 2 deaths, ironically one of which had nothing to do with the pillars. What time to die! Though actually, I only did 3 of the 4 by this night. I wasn't quite ready for the Moon Lord yet. Now that I'm somewhat stronger, I wanted to clean up some unfinished business with other bosses first, starting with the Flying Pig Shark. He's still pretty hurty, but I thought with all of these upgrades I might be able to hold my own, and maybe I would have if I didn't fly directly into the tornado. A Cthulhu-nado. Having now run out of truffle worms, day 112 was for tracking down some more. With 2 more fresh attempts with me, I was confident I could get through this if I do a better job at avoiding getting hit. I did a lot more flying and paid way more attention to the tornadoes. With the help of my dragon, this was the perfect recipe for success. Amongst the loot was a summoning staff which could grant me my own Sharknadoes to fight with me. You'll often find me running one of each with the dragon from now on. Once the sun had set, I started doing laps of the Hallow, keeping my eye out for prismatic lacewings. I didn't immediately kill it. I caught it instead. I wanted to save this for daytime, because May had mentioned on a few occasions there's a particularly good weapon that can drop from defeating the Empress of Light in the daytime. Now, I was well aware at how bad the last attempt went, and I heard that the daytime was even harder. I was really hoping to find another butterfly for another attempt, but was having trouble tracking one down. The leftover meteorite here was taking over the spawns for this little area, so I was told it would be worth my while to clear it all out. I still only ended this night with just 1 lacewing, so I made my way to the Hallow Arena on day 113 and woke up the Empress. Done it. Got it. She's here. She's here. So, she one-shots you in the daytime. This is never gonna happen. 10 out of 10 run. Amazing, amazing gameplay. Such boss battle. I mean, that's kind of hilarious. Maybe we do her at night. I think I'm gonna stick to nighttime. I used some spare gelatin crystals to fight the Queen Slime in the desert instead. Still haven't fully given up on the desert key, which I still didn't get. I sold off the excess loot and whipped up another batch of potions. Then it was back to the Hallow to catch another lacewing so I could be fully ready with all my buffs when I spawned the boss that night. In my opinion, she has some of the prettiest attacks, but being a bit more prepared this time, I came out triumphant. I got some really cool drops from here too. The Kaleidoscope will be great for more minion damage, and the Rainbow Cursor is just cool in its own right, but I won't be using it because I have a hard enough time tracking the cursor I'm already familiar with. I don't want to be at even more risk of losing it amongst the chaos during boss fights. Now that I'm satisfied that I'd handled the bosses that I wanted to, I was ready for my next Moon Lord attempt. I tore down that final pillar, and now that I know what's coming next, I made haste to the arena and retrieved my Golden Delight. I was hoping this might have made the difference, but you might notice here I'm not really moving around enough to evade attacks properly. I got his health a little lower than last time, but this was always gonna fail. On day 114, I crafted another celestial sigil now that I had loads more fragments. I wasn't confident that I'd make it next time, but I wanted to craft them one by one instead in case I need the fragments later. To give myself more room to move, I built a couple more rows of platforms over a much wider area. It did feel sad needing to carve through the giant tree though, but it had to be done. I made sure to dot around some campfires, heart lanterns, star bottles, and honey bubbles, but I had run out of bar statues so I'll have to live without them for the most of it. I was done on the morning of day 115. The travelling merchant was visiting. I was intrigued in the celestial wand, which took me a minute to figure out because I didn't realise at first that it was a pet. Kinda want to see what it's like. Look at it! It's so cute! Oh my god, I kind of want it. Distraction over. I had a quick top up of supplies, then requested a visit from the impending doom. It takes a little bit for the Moon Lord to arrive, it seems. Enough time for me to get distracted again. Oh no, I went to fidget and my sock came off. Oh no, I don't have time for this. Ah! Okay, we're going for it. The sock will have to wait. Having a longer path to run across definitely helped avoid more damage because it means spending less time slowing around to switch direction. And even though the big tree sometimes got in my way, it played to my advantage here and prevented me being lasered. It was going so much better this time. I got so close to defeating him, but he got to me, ironically with me getting stuck on the tree. I was very much raring to go again, but I'd now fully run out of food with major stat boosts. I remembered I got ribs from the dungeons, so most of day 116 was spent trying to steal a skeleton's lunch. Ribs can be hard to find, but I managed to nab some that evening. I called the Moon Lord for a rematch, but I did worse than last time. I scoured the potion recipes for anything that might help, coming across things like this summoning potion to get a third minion, which unfortunately requires fish I didn't even know existed from the jungle. I was definitely gonna have to fish, but first I hung out in the underground hallow looking for the prismite. These can be made into life force potions to increase my health by 20% temporarily. Health I definitely need. I wasn't having much luck with this little pond here. With the prismite being a bit of a rarer fish, I was gonna have to use a much bigger pond. I redirected a couple of little puddles into a bigger pool and joined a couple of bodies of water together in the hopes that this underground lake would be big enough. I fished grappled to the ceiling to make it a bit more exciting, and you might notice I can see the fish we want on the line now. That's thanks to a sonar bobber, which also actually helped me see that there was a bite more easily too. I stuck around overnight to catch as many as I could bear, then moved on to the jungle for day 118 for the variegated lardfish for the summoning potion. Coming back home to make them, I was disappointed to find out I was low on moon glow, and those won't bloom till nighttime. To stay productive for the daylight hours, I ducked into the darkness of the dungeons to see if I could steal any more ribs, since I did only get one last time. One of the monsters that can drop the ribs is a paladin, which would be detected by one of my gadgets here, but we all kept getting confused with the metal detector alerting me to nearby palladium. You keep seeing palladium thinking it's paladin? Yeah, same. Actually, which one is it? I thought it might be worth my while to remove it for now. So distracted, I don't even notice my feet bleeding on these spikes. I've got an idea. We don't... The sun was rising by the time I got over that, so no moon glow for me, and to top it all off, the pirates picked today for a violent visit. At least it was only a few hours for me to get rid of them and their stupid flying ship, so now I could get back to my rib hunt throughout this day. Still haven't found any, but I did remember to go back to my greenhouse that night to pick all of the moon glow. I did need the deathweed too. With potions restocked, I was just now low on food. I'd grown sick of trying to steal the skeleton's lunches, so without too much more to spend my money on, I did invest in over 50 pig granatas in the hopes of obtaining some bacon. I ducked into a cave to open them all because grappling to a ceiling and placing them right where you are instantly opens them. So much quicker this way. None of these brought the bacon, so I poured my money into 139 more, and I just used the ceiling of the building to open them this time. I finally got one here. This will give us the major stat boost I need, and opening the rest, I actually found a total of 5 rashers of bacon. Surely I won't need more attempts than this. I spawned the Moon Lord again that night. Also fire. Ah! I forgot how this works. I'm not flustered. With a belly full of bacon and a plethora of potions, I was also trying to do a better job at evading things like the lasers. And so finally, I managed to defeat the Moon Lord just as the sun rose on day 120. Oh my god, stay alive! Wait, is that it or is that not it? Is that just like fake it? Oh my god, did we do it? Oh my god! Are those credits? Whoa! The actual Meowmere? Oh my god, the portal gun! Oh my god, what is this? What is everything? Oh, Luminite. I wanted that. I wanted that for stuff. I mean, like, we've done it now. Oh my god, cute. I'm gonna sneeze. Wait.
What's that?
I'm allergic to beating the game. Use the Meowmere? I gave myself some time to just enjoy checking out the loot whilst the credits were rolling, but with some time left in this final stream, I wanted to end off with a new set of armor made from the Luminite we just got. You might remember it's the nebula armor I'm interested in, but I was short on the fragments. The only way to correct that issue was to take out the cultist again and destroy the 4 pillars. Before crafting the armor, I was told the nebula mantle would be worth a go. This thing means I can fly a lot further and faster if used correctly. It took the usual couple of deaths, but I got rid of the last of the 4 pillars the morning of day 121, and whilst not wanting to be caught off guard with the Moonlord approaching again, I teleported away without picking up the fragments. Thankfully, they'll stick around till later. This Moonlord attempt was not quite so successful. I got flustered after getting stuck on the tree again. I went back for the Stardust fragments I left behind. A quick restock later, and I was ready for another go. Come on, let me heal. 8 seconds. Damn it! Or another fail. A new issue identified. There were some lumps and bumps in the ground that I was getting stuck on, so I made an attempt to smooth them out. And it is dark here, but I smoothed the tree a bit because I often get stuck on some notches here too. We were chatting about some Stardew things on day 122, and at this point I knew that there was a Junimo pet that existed with no idea how to get it. It was time to ask for a tip. I couldn't end this playthrough without getting a Junimo friend. To get one, you must approach the Dryad and talk to her whilst holding a can of Joja Cola in your active slot. I don't tend to carry these, so it's no surprise I haven't found it. This unnatural beverage you hold has a connection to another world. I can try to purify it if you like. Purify? I'm sensing a pure spirit through the connection. Oh my god, that's a star. Hello? Oh my god! Ah! Is that a star drop? Using the star drop will get you your very own Junimo. Oh my god, look at it! How am I supposed to pick between a Junimo and a blue chicken? I was not prepared to make this kind of decision today. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. Safe to say, this was not the plan. No! At least I have my buffs on, I guess. Maybe I just keep going in circles. Haha! Circle around the tree, do figure eights around the tree. Oddly enough, this surprise battle went so much better and I actually managed to kill him again. Still, without enough Luminite, the next couple of days were a repeat of the cultists, fishing for more potion fish, and the celestial pillars, with obligatory deaths of course, but this next Moonlord fight was significantly easier now that I found my flow. What was quite funny though was getting the Meowmere as a drop 3 times in a row. This apparently doesn't tend to happen this often. I officially had enough materials for the Nebula armor set, my final outfit. 1, 2, 3. Wonderful. What's the set bonus? Magic damage is a chance to spawn buff boosters. Pick boosters up to get stacking buffs? Okay, that's insane. I could have done with that earlier. Having also just got a lunar portal staff too, we can't just leave this to go untested, can we? The Empress of Light will be the perfect target. That thing shooting out lasers? That belongs to me. Those lasers are wild. Oh, that's fun. I love that. I love that for us. Oh, she's at home now. She is here. She's at our home. Okay, cool. Where have you gone? Oh, you're dead. Whoa! That bow. Look at that bow. Oh, look at that die. Kind of want it. Where do I put it? I don't know how to use this. Oh, it's changing my pet. Oh, I get it now. I get it. So if I... Oh, that's cool. But then I do kind of think, wait, hang on a minute. Prismatic Junimo? Look at it. Can we get rainbow chicken? Because, you know, wait, where have I put it? I've put it somewhere safe. The age-old ADHD, I've put something away. There. Look at it! The best way to end it, prismatic chicken, the goal we didn't know we needed to achieve. Honestly, this was way better than just like being like, oh, I've beaten the Moon Lord and that's it. Thank you all for coming along on this journey to my first time beating Terraria. I'm so glad that we've been able to dive right into this absolute masterpiece of a game. Please do hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, and leave me a comment to let me know if you've had the pleasure of being consumed by this game, and to tell me if you'd like to see more Terraria content. I know that there was a lot of the game that I didn't really even see, so I do have some ideas in mind. Don't forget to hit subscribe too. Thank you so much to my channel members, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!